number one training I want to do, I want you to be confident to be able to stand there face to face and have a conversation awkwardly. When you can do that, and you can do it with strength and power and conviction, you can now go stand in front of a customer and be like, I'm totally comfortable sitting in front of you. I'm a believer in pushing till you get the yes or the no. I'm okay with a little pushback, and I'm okay with a guy that just tells me flat out, hey, look, boss, I just got kicked out. Everybody's afraid of making somebody unhappy for a 1-star review. And if you don't have them, all the power to you. But I bet your sales team isn't that good.
80% of salespeople don't even ask for the close.
I know.
Isn't that crazy? Like, ask for the business, guys. At least let them tell you no.
First, thanks so much, Andrew, for having me on your podcast. This is really cool. I'm so excited. The sales wars is so true in every house we go to. And people just don't understand the battle that it takes mentally and physically on our bodies when we go in that mode of trying to close a customer with compassion and caring. So it's a true battle, and I really respect the name, and I really like what you've done.
Thank you.
So I'm really excited to be here. With that, my background, I'm an electrician. I got really lucky out of high school. I didn't have any real direction. I didn't know where I was going to go. I had a dream of becoming a ski bum. That was like my ultimate dream in life. I'd never have yet to become a ski bum properly. I have skied a lot. I've missed 3 seasons since I was 3 years old. But until then, until I go become my ski bum, which will be in the future at this point, I became an electrician right out of high school. I got really lucky. My parents knew a family that was in our church that the guy owned an electrical company. It was a small one. I think he had 4 or 5, maybe 5 vans. They only did high-end residential service.
Okay.
And so and when I say high-end residential, it was the smallest house that I can recall that I wired in my first 2 years of apprenticeship was 8,000 square feet.
New construction?
New construction. Okay. The biggest house, I think it was right around 18,000.
Wow.
18,000 log home. So, but what it did is it taught me how to, and I was just an apprentice, so I wasn't really in charge of anything. I didn't have any, of that, but it taught us how to interact and be around high-end stuff.
Yeah.
So we would go in and do change out a light fixture. Well, the light fixture would take us 2 weeks to hang because it would take a week to assemble, and you'd have to get, scaffolding, everything built in there, and how to handle that white glove service is something that I learned in that experience. Then I went to commercial. I spent a couple of years in the commercial world. I got in Washington a commercial ELO1 card, which is your journeyman. Your journeyman electrical license.
Okay.
So I didn't just get a residential. I got a full holistic journeyman license. I can work on anything electrically in the state of Washington.
Okay.
Soon after that, 2008 ended all work. 2007, 2008, it all stopped. I was scrapping drywall, applying everywhere I could as a journeyman electrician, scrapping drywall, because I needed work. My wife and I had already bought our first house. I'm remodeling it. I'm up to my eyeballs in debt, in cabinets that we put in. I'm ripping walls out, trying to do that. In the process, I didn't move. I went to Alaska. I get this call. I'm scrapping drywall. The guy says, you got to be here Monday. I go to Alaska. I work in the Interior Regional Housing Authority as their electrician. I recently just posted it on my Facebook, the picture of me climbing telephone poles.
No kidding.
Total experience change. Because in down here, electricians don't do that. That's what the linemen are for.
Right. Yep.
Up there, it's a holistic. You actually have to learn the power generation from the generator, which are diesel generators in the villages, to the end user in the house. And you have to be able to understand it all. So that was a whole nother level of transformation in my education. So I spent about 6 months up there. I got my debts all paid off. I hated every minute of that job. Work night and day, sleeping in bushes, in people's houses, being the hated individual in the villages.
Why?
Because I'm the white man. I'm employed by and I'll just say what it is. It's Interior Regional Housing Authority. They have preference hiring for Native American, right? And I was a white guy in the Native American community, and I was not treated well. So I can respect that side of when people of color or of others are not treated well, but I also understand the other side. Does that make sense? And so it's a holistic approach that I have on that, which is really kind of opened my eyes for that. With that experience, I then took a job in Seattle. I was sleeping in my car at night for the first few weeks while I took this job because I didn't have any money. I just paid off my debts.
How long ago was this?
This is in 2009 right now. Yeah.
And you're still single at the time?
No, I'm married. My wife's in Spokane living in our house. My son's there. I don't want to accrue any more debt. We'd built all that up and I just paid it off in Alaska. So I came back to get this job in Seattle, 5 hours from home.
Okay.
So I'm sleeping in my car at night. This is the determination it takes to get somewhere. Like I was never handed anything. My wife and I started in low income housing. Our first year married, we were in low income at like $230 a month housing. While my son was 1 year old, I was 21 years old. She was 19. It kind of explains the time in life we were. Yeah. And we just had to figure it out. We've stayed committed. We've worked through all of our, the years together. We're coming up on 20 years this year. It's pretty exciting. Awesome. But in this process, I then go start working for a company over in Seattle. I haven't left Seattle since.
Okay.
So this is where the real electrical, that's what taught me how to be an electrician, right? And I tell some of these parts of this story and I kind of go a little long on it intentionally to understand that it wasn't given to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like I have what I have now by pure grit, force, and determination to not let my setbacks be my failures.
Yeah.
So now I'm in a company in Seattle. I'm going to tell another quick story here. I'm in the basement. I'm week 2 or 3. And I don't remember exactly. It was the second week. Working for this company. I'm in the basement of the Columbia Tower. Hopefully they don't get pissed at me for telling this. The guy who I'm working for uses his Jeep to pull in 750 kc mill feeders to a Verizon wireless store 6 stories up. So it was in the basement, 6 stories down as their main feeder.
Okay.
To their main bus bars. And we're literally using his Jeep to pull this in 4-wheel drive. And I'm like, this is insanity. What are we doing? Like so the next morning I go and turn my notice into the owner. I'm like, I'm out. I'm one of 8 employees in this company.
So for all the non-electricians listening, we have no idea what you're talking about, but it sounds bad, right?
Well, I mean, you're literally using a truck to pull in wire through pipe.
Okay.
In a tower. It's insanity.
Yeah.
Like there's tuggers, pullers, guys that understand like electrical. They're gonna be like, holy crap, that guy's insane.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to be crazy. It's just total hillbilly stuff that you just don't do.
Got it.
Right. And so I went and turned in my notice. I ended up taking over that electrical department.
No kidding.
The owner's like, no, you're staying here. We want you to work here. He let me fire that guy the next day. And then I took over. I ran that company till we had 190 electricians in 5 years.
Wow.
So I took it from 8 to 190. I became the director of operations for them. We had a Marine.
All commercial stuff?
We had a Marine UL 502 listed shop, which is basically from a flat sheet of metal, we would then engineer and design full panel boards, PLCs, all of these high-end things, right? Like that company, I didn't manage this part, but that company had the Washington State ferry contracts.
Wow.
We were building and wiring the entire ferries. So these are the aspects of where I learned sales. When you sit in a sales meeting for an $8 million electrical contract to go wire the ferries, and you're sitting with state people, it's a different sales conversation than we have today with a customer that's an end user spending 4, 5, 10, 20, 30 grand. Right? Because it's not even their money, but it's actually easier to sell them and it's harder to sell them in the same hand. It's kind of wild. So to finish this story off, I grow this company with the owner. I end up leaving in 2014.
Why'd you leave?
We'll just leave it at the owner, and I had some strong differences.
Okay, fair enough.
I could no longer stand behind the ethical behaviors of the ownership, and it just wasn't for me anymore.
Okay.
So we separated. We went 2 different directions. I didn't know if I was going to start my own thing yet. I just knew that I needed to get out and get a clear head.
Okay.
About 30 days later, I get called by a couple of the customers that were some of my biggest clients, and they instantly said, no, you're starting your own thing, and here's work.
Okay.
So I had a couple of good jobs lined up. Nothing big, but a couple of jobs I didn't even have to go sell. They sold themselves for me. It was quite nice. Then I built Deere Services off of that. It was Deere Electric, Inc. I grew it till about 2018 as an electric company only.
Okay.
Commercial specifically. until middle of 2017.
Okay.
When I didn't get paid for about $180,000 commercial job that I ended up going from about 9 employees to 0 employees, me, if you count me as the only employee.
Okay, so you went 9 and then back to 0?
Yep.
Total revenue and then back to...
Yep, 0.
What was the revenue at that point?
We were doing about $1.8 million.
Okay. And then you didn't get paid on a job, which killed me. Couldn't pay the bills.
I was completely upside down.
Yep.
Everything went backwards. So I kind of tell, again, I'm gonna go back to this. I tell these stories so that people can get the holistic, like, understanding. When you're small, it's okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being a small company. Today, everybody talks about, oh, go get big, go grow, go do this. And I agree, you should grow. And I'm growing multiple companies right now. But it's okay to go through these hardships. They're going to teach you how to be a better person throughout the process.
I don't know business owners that haven't done that. Tried to grow it and then hit a wall and then had to shrink back down to save the business.
Yep.
I've had to do it twice.
Yep.
And so just that growing and pushing, and then you get to a point where you don't know something and something happens, or you're not watching things close enough, and then you have to shrink back down and really save it. And for me, it was like having to jump back into sales to save it, because that's my core competency, and taking that and running with it, you get back in the black, and then you can start bringing people back.
It's funny you say that, because that's exactly what I did. I'm sitting in my bed. I think it was like 4 or 5 days after I realized that I'm not getting paid for this job.
Yeah.
I paid my last payroll of cash that I had, period. Used the line of credit, everything that I had to make this last payroll. I've pretty much told everybody that they're on standby, because I don't know what's next. I've got jobs lined up, but I don't have the cash to get them paid.
Yep.
And Home Advisor calls me.
Okay.
And I had not dealt with them at this point.
Yeah.
So I didn't know who they were, what they were doing, because I was mainly in the commercial world. That's what I left and I went back to. And they told me on this phone call, and this is another pivotal moment that happened. This is during the same week that I laid everybody off because I didn't know what I was going to do for money. And I knew I was in a lot of debt again. I get this call, and this lady's on the other line, and she says, well, a couple $100 will get you in homes, and you can collect the money today.
Yep.
And I'm like, so if I don't know that I have a couple $100, but I'll put it on a credit card and I literally went and borrowed my wife's credit card that was not tied to anything of mine. And I went and got it, and I put the couple $100 on there, and they said, we'll give you homes to go to. Just call them as quick as possible.
Yep.
Like, okay, I got that. Like, I know how to do customer service. I got this. Yep. So I went out to these homes, and I'm billing like I would a commercial job. So I think I started at $85 an hour, which is fun to go look and sit back at. Like, compared to where we are today, today I shock people with that number, right? Yeah. Not the 85, the $1,000 an hour that we're billing out in electrical, plumbing, and HVAC, and some even more, right? That are our billable hour. And in that process, I had to go learn, okay, that's barely paying the bills. Okay. But I'm actually getting cash though. I'm like, there's cash.
Flow. Yeah.
And it's cash flow, which is the key to the business, right? That's the true success in business. So I'm now running calls in my white pickup. I've got it all figured out. I'm going to be making money again. And I'm starting to pay vendors back. Like $100+ grand a vendor. It took me, 24 months to really pay them all the way back. I go through this process of learning how to sell in homes, and it's all just by me teaching myself.
Really? No books, no mentors, no just...
I'm listening to podcasts. I'm doing things like that, and I'm reading books at night because I'm starting to learn. And then in 2018, I met Mike Aguilera. He was pivotal change in my life at the time that I needed.
And who is he?
Mike Aguilera, CEO Warrior.
I got you. Okay.
Mike Aguilera, CEO Warrior, founder of CEO Warrior, is no longer CEO Warrior. He's now Food Dog Group, I think, is what he does. Really changed my world at that time. I needed that. He taught me what I needed to understand about sales and how to manage that, compared to where you're managing install teams to go do commercial work, which is what I had done in the past. Now I'm managing and teaching sales guys. So I dove all in 2018 on mastering sales and coaching. So, I've spent personally, one second, I'm going to give you my question. I've now spent over $1 million in education and growing my education and my team's education and understanding how to become a master at the sales game.
No kidding. So 2018 to 2024, you've spent over $1 million on training for yourself so that you can harness that, teach other people. What about before that? You said you were listening to podcasts and books. What were some of the things that you were consuming?
The main thing I was consuming was Grant Cardone.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Okay.
Grant Cardone was the main person I was following. I was trying to emulate. I've always loved real estate, and he talks real estate.
Yeah.
And it's a similar, but he teaches sales at the same time, right?
Yep.
Because sales is the beginning of every business.
That's right.
It's truly the start of every interaction, right?
Yep.
And that's how we can then build a business, is through sales.
Yeah.
So that's really where I focused my energy, was on him.
Okay. So his books, his podcasts, and then you had this shift where you paid for a mentor.
Yep.
Can you tell me just some of the things that from pre-2018 to after, like 3 things that were just mind shifting for you?
3 things. I would say first would be your mindset.
Okay.
That would be the number one shift that has to happen, and was my main shift. Going to a first conference, right?
Okay.
And it was at the time CEO Warrior. In just understanding I wasn't the only one struggling with this.
Yeah.
And I wanted to master it, but I didn't know how.
Okay.
And I didn't know how. Like, I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to find, who to find. And so I just started reaching out to people, and I would reach out to, again, the Cardone group, the Warrior group, the just anywhere I could find and digest knowledge of it.
Yep.
That was my focus. You have marketers, you have Brian Tracy, you have Zig Ziglar. Like, these are people that you can actually go and look up their stuff and see hours of it, hours and hours. Joe Casera, I've done his programs.
Awesome.
I've done Service Excellence Group. Like, I can,
Okay.
I'll drop all their names because every one of them taught me
Yeah.
a different level of the skills that I have today. And so I'm able to meld them all and create that pattern and process that I want my teams to follow. Because every one of them have great things.
Yeah.
Every one of them. And so I don't know that there's 3 exact things. I think education would be the second one. Education would be the pivotal point. Knowing that you have to educate your people consistently would be number 2 on that.
Okay.
The third one would probably be the consistency of managing your metrics.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't understand the importance of making sure every one of my people always knew their numbers. Now, you walk in my company, ask anybody.
Yeah.
And if I'll walk through and be like, hey, how's your numbers looking? And they'll tell me their numbers.
That's awesome.
If they don't know their numbers, we'll go back to the whiteboard, which we still whiteboard. We have digital boards. We have all those cool, fancy stuff.
Yep.
But every training room should have a whiteboard. Because the digital boards, the problem with the digital boards is you don't get the connection with the pen and the mind and the paper that truly brings back. And so we physically, every meeting, walk up, every one of our salespeople, every one of our service techs have to walk up and write their numbers on the board.
What are your KPIs for the different genres? You got AC, plumbing, and electrical. Like, when you're talking to your guys and they know their numbers, what are they trying to hit?
Well, I'm gonna bring you back.
Okay.
The departments don't matter. I don't care if it's roofing. I don't care if it's plumbing. I don't care if you're selling pest control. What you're selling is an experience.
Yep.
Right? And if we all understand we're selling an experience, our KPIs are going to be the same. Now, we may have different manageable numbers to those KPIs, but our KPIs are going to be the same. They're going to be sales calls, service sales calls, number of calls we've ran, so calls ran. We're going to have service number, and then we're going to be able to take and divide that back. I wish I could put right here, and I'll get you a picture of it. You can put right here, my sales board, like, perfectly for it. And it'll show you every one of these KPIs and how they break out. But it is, I want to know how many calls you ran, how many you sold, what that percentage is. So then our service sales. I want to know how many calls you lead passed to a closer, which I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to describe that to you. A closer, in my world, we have 3 field positions.
Okay.
I'll take a little detour here.
Yep.
I don't have electricians, I don't have plumbers, and I don't have HVAC techs.
Okay.
I have openers, closers, producers.
Okay.
They're the 3 field positions that matter.
Okay.
And I'm a huge believer in each one of them are equally important. You can't have anything without all 3.
Yep.
Right? And sometimes people tell me, well, I have the what is it? The brilliant guy that can knock it out. like the pink elephant or whatever in the room. Like he's the perfect guy who can do all three better than anybody else. He goes and puts up $1 million and installs it.
Okay.
But what if he could put up 5 million in sales
Yep.
and have an install team go do it?
Yeah.
What I learned in this process is by having the opener open, he creates the friendship.
Yep.
And as humans, we want to listen to our friends and we want to buy from their recommendations.
Yep.
We don't necessarily buy from our friend. And here's a story that I kind of tell people all the time. You go to your friend's restaurant that owns the restaurant. You're like, man, I hope I get hooked up at his restaurant.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Now I'm the exact opposite because I've owned a business, and you're probably the exact
Absolutely.
opposite because you own a business. You're like, how can I tip his people the highest? Like
Yep.
if I'm going to my buddy's restaurant, his servers are getting like big tips. As long as they do a great job, they're going to get a huge one and I'm going to pay his premium for all of his premium supplies because I know what it takes to run that restaurant.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
But for most humans and most of us that don't own and operate our business and our salespeople, we're like, how can I get the discount? How can I get a deal?
Right.
Because we're used to having that done to us
Give me
every
the homie
day.
hookup.
Give me the homie hookup. So what I found is by having a second person in the home that's referred by the relationship built by the opener, we call them a field supervisor.
Okay.
So now they have trust and authority. They come to the opener, meet with them and the homeowner on
They
why
go
they
to the
should.
home.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do a little bit of phone closing, but I found, so we have a field supervisor on the phone, but I've found the highest close rate, the highest average ticket, and all of that still end up when you have a second person to the home.
Okay.
And I've done it multiple ways now in the sales process, sales funnel, right? And I cannot beat the person in the home sitting next to the friend, which is the opener.
Yep.
Now the friend referred and said, hey, look, I'm so glad Billy's coming out. Billy is like the most knowledgeable about your air conditioner, about your electrical panel. He's going to help me figure this thing out. We're going to get into the bottom of it together. And so he doesn't come there as a sales guy. He comes there as a helping hand and a field supervisor.
Yep.
And when you get that interaction with the consumer, they now trust him again at whole nother level. And he's gotten the boost from the tech that they already trust that was there only to build the relationship. I want my techs petting dogs. Like I want them bringing in treats. I want them taking care of them. I want them there as literally their friend and relationship building.
Yep.
I don't even want bad news delivered to the customer for the first 15 minutes. Like some really key things that separate the way we run our process compared to how a lot of companies will go in there and they want to take you to the panel. They want to show you what's wrong with your panel and get right to it.
Okay.
I want to take our time. I want 15 minutes of like good news.
So tell me about those 15 minutes. Like just kind of a little bit of role play. Like what are you guys doing with that 15 minutes?
I want to sit down at the table.
Yep.
I want to go through, hey, Andrew, thanks for having me out here today. I want to ask you some questions here. Like, tell me about your house, how long you've been here. These obvious sales questions, right? But they're caring questions. The next ones, we would be having coffee if I'm coming out because I'm bringing the coffee.
Nice.
Every time. Like my first opportunity to connect with you is to break bread with you or to share a cup of coffee together. So on our phone call out, on our first touch, I want to go even farther down a rabbit hole into the first impression.
Okay.
Right? Your first impression is that phone call.
Yep.
Your second first impression is when? At the door.
Yep.
Right? So we have multiple first impressions. I want my first impression for you to say yes, right? That's important. It's not to just get the yeses, like the habit that everybody teaches.
Sure.
It's not that. It's to get the connection point of you comfortable with it.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you that I'm going to get you a cup of coffee instead of ask you.
Okay. So
hey, I'm going to
on the
swing
way,
by.
you're on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm getting you a cup of coffee.
Hey, Andrew, I'd love to, I'm be driving right by Starbucks and I'd love to get you a cup of coffee. What's your favorite?
Good.
How do you feel about me grabbing that cup of coffee for you?
Real nice.
You feel good about it.
Yeah.
Instead of me saying, which is what a lot of trainers will tell you, hey, Andrew, I'm going to be stopping by Starbucks. Can I get you a cup of coffee?
No, I'm good.
You're going to say no every time because we don't know each other.
Right.
We don't know. We haven't built that connection.
Yep.
Right. I'm already asserting myself that I'm going to give you something.
Good.
So what kind of cup of coffee can I get you? You're going to then tell me. At the house, now I've made the connection. I don't have to hand you a business card. I don't have to hand you like an awkward handshake. I'm now like 2 hands with the stoppers still in both of them.
Yep.
Like I teach this, like keep your stoppers in them, make sure that it feels like secure. Hand that customer that fresh cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And order it with their name on it. Don't put your name on the order. That's another like little thing. These are such like tiny little notes. And everybody's like, well, why do you care about that much detail? Most customers won't. But if you're subconsciously touching them every way you can in a really positive way, it's just everything stacking because I want to win the sales call in the first 15 minutes.
Excuse me.
No, you're good. I want to win the call in the first 15 minutes. And if I'm winning it in the first 15 minutes, I got a deal. I honestly, and I stand behind this, I believe you're either sold the job in the first 15 or you lost it.
Okay. So let's dive a little deeper on it. So
Yeah,
I love the coffee. I love their name on it. Those details are beautiful. Not asking, just like, I'm doing this for you.
Yeah.
Which is it? Which kind do you want? And then you're showing up, you're going to the table, not to the equipment.
Yep.
And you're going to ask some questions. Let's dig into the questions.
Okay.
Go ahead and just run through some of the questions.
Yeah. So Andrew, thanks for having me out today. Really appreciate it. Please tell me how long you guys have been here.
5 years.
About 5 years. Andrew, I know you have me out here to fix this electrical lights flickering. Let's go down that path. So when did these lights start flickering?
It's been like 6 months.
It's been like 6 months.
Super annoying.
And I'm just curious, Andrew, who do these light fixtures affect the most?
I mean, anyone using that room, it's
And who lives in that room?
well, it's in the guest bathroom. So anybody that walks in there, it's annoying. Yeah.
Do you guys host a lot?
Yeah, we have people over. Yeah.
People over and when the cleaners or your wife's in there taking care of the bathroom, is it bothering her?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
How often do you go in there?
Multiple times.
Multiple times. You use it often?
Yeah, it's right next to the kitchen. So
Don't tell me it's the doghouse. You don't get buried and put in the doghouse out there, do you?
Not, no.
Okay, good.
I
All
don't
right.
have a
Just
doghouse.
well, we live similar then. She might try to send me there, but it doesn't work out.
She might be mad on her side of the bed, but it's still my bed.
I love it.
So,
I respect that.
Yep.
Good for you. Well, Andrew, knowing that, let's go take a look at it.
Yep.
But I'm just curious if there's anything else that we see inside this, inside the house when I do my inspection. I'd like to go around, check the panel. I want to make sure you have your safety breakers and make sure that they're all working correctly. In my inspection today, is there anything that we cannot turn off?
I don't think so.
Okay. If there's any TVs or computers you want to power down, I would like to do a full exercising of all the breakers. One of the things we want to make sure is that everything's working and not pitted and that all your breakers are in good operation. That'd be the first place to check because that's kind of the heart and blood of the electrical system.
Okay.
From there, we'll go and we'll do some voltage checking throughout the house. We're going to start in that master or in that guest bedroom.
Okay.
And we're going to kind of just find out where the circuits are leading because I don't have x-ray vision, but I can tell you pretty close to where the things are going to go.
Okay.
But I didn't wire it and it's going to be hard to tell without an original blueprint.
Okay.
So we'll just kind of go through it and we'll do it together if you don't mind, if you got about 30, 40 minutes with me.
Yeah, that works.
Awesome. We'll go do this inspection together and we'll figure out why these things are flickering. I got you covered.
Okay. So how long you're in the house? How long you been there? Do you also ask how long are you going to be in the house? Is that
I
a key
do.
question?
I do when it's. I'll kind of get to that later. I don't want to hammer them with sales in that.
Just so for me, I try to get off of the topic of whatever I'm there for and just get to know them personally.
Yep.
So we use the acronym FORM, Family, Occupation, Recreation, Material, Possessions. And I'm just trying to get them talking about themselves unless it's a CEO and he starts looking at his watch, tapping his foot. I know to shut up and get to work. Outside of that, I just want to get to know them. We're there to serve them and spend time with them. And if we know them, if they know that you care, then they care what you know, right?
You're 100% right. And as much time as you can spend at that table, you want to, right? The FORM acronym's a brilliant form for it. And I'm all for getting to know, like sitting here with you, it's a little harder to come up with the things that you like. But it's usually pretty obvious. If somebody's got a beautifully manicured lawn, I want to talk about their flowers in it. Okay. Right? Like I'm gonna compliment things. I'm gonna try to stay away from too many family photos.
Yep.
I just not a big fan of it because I made the mistake a couple times of, mentioning the beautiful family photo in the beach. I'm like, oh, that's cool. What beach are you guys on? And then the family member passed away after that, or, like it's a memory thing. And then you have to go through that whole, like, now you got to dig yourself out of a hole.
Right. Backpedal.
So, I've learned to stay away from that side. I do count the people in the photos and I don't say anything about it. Yeah. Because now I'm looking for who's living here.
Yep.
Because I try to stay away from, unless it's obvious, like there's kids running around.
Sure.
Like, awesome. Oh, you got all the kids running around. How many kids we have here? This is really cool. Like, it's a lively house.
Yeah.
I can tell you're very busy managing this every day. Like, then I'll get into it. But otherwise, I'm not going to sit with Mrs. Jones or anybody and be like, well, how many kids live here? And are you alone? like the creep, right?
Sure.
Like, do you live here alone? Like who wants that guy in their house? She's going to get freaked out and weirded out by you. So
do you try to find where you can, like, if there's another decision maker, how do you uncover that?
Totally. I'm looking at the photos. I'm trying to make judgment calls. Is there a hot rod in the house?
Okay.
And he's not home?
Yep.
And I'm not saying that women don't have hot rods. But what I'm saying is it's less likely statistically, right? I mean, if the house is mint condition, like, and I mean perfect, you go into those homes, we've all been there, they probably don't have kids living there.
Right.
Right? I mean, the house is literally dusted perfectly and the house is like on point. Probably don't even have a husband living there because he's probably sloppier than most people. You know what I mean? Like, and so I kind of say that, in fun, but it's you just learn over time of being in enough homes to pick up on cues. No, it doesn't mean they don't have a husband. It doesn't mean that they don't have another partner or a spouse or whatever it is, right? In their relationship. But it does mean you need to have your eyes wide open. And I teach that. That's one of the things I always talk about is let's have our eyes open and look around and be, I don't want to fully assume everything because I'm going to ask questions around it.
Yep.
But I may not ask directly. And I'm going to ask, oh, well, cool. When was your last vacation? Where'd you guys go?
Okay.
Awesome. How many of you guys go with you? How many of y'all went on that vacation? Was it a big family trip?
Yep.
No, I just went by myself. Oh, okay, great. That's telling me pretty clearly she's probably not married.
Yep.
They're probably, kids are either gone out of the house or they're, depending on age or where they're at, or they just chose to be single.
Yeah.
And that's okay, right? Like now I know the conversation is not to bring it back to, is your spouse going to be making this decision with you?
Right.
Because if I ask that question and she or he is a sole provider and a sole, owner and manager of this home, they feel like you create something inside of them. And it could be one, empowerment by asking them, or two, the opposite,
right,
of regret, of concern, like, well, it was or it wasn't. I should not have. I made the best choice. And you just don't want those emotions to come within them.
Yeah.
Right. And so I try to stay out of that and I try to make early conversations around ways of finding that information out without being direct about it.
Okay.
Now, if I got to be direct, I'm in. Like I got no problem with being right down to the punches.
I've done something a little odd when people, like, let's say you're dealing with an older couple and you're talking about something that's more of a long-term decision and they just kind of throw out, I'm going to be dead in 5 years.
I love that.
Or they're just like, I'm not going to live long enough. I said, for me, it's if they're going to get morbid with me, I'm just going, okay, let's talk about that. Yep. Right. I'm not going to live very long. Oh, no kidding. How long you give yourself? I just
That's so funny you say that.
And then we deal with it because if we're dealing with something that has a 10-year warranty and they're giving themselves 2 years, okay, we're going to look at something lower cost because you're only giving yourself a couple years.
Well, then you have to ask the question, okay, well, what are you leaving behind? Does what you're leaving behind matter?
Or who you're leaving it to.
And that's what I'm, so that's where I'm going to go with that. Yeah. Does what you're leaving behind matter? Yeah. Do your grandchildren, your children, your descendants of whatever format you have, does that matter to them?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, it doesn't matter, then okay, let's go with the cost thing.
Yep.
Or honestly, do you just want to blow your money? And I'll ask them flat out, like, do you got a lot in there you just want to get rid of? Do you want to end life with a lot of debt and just leave it to the state? Because and it totally depends on your customer. The guy who's going to tell you, or the lady who's going to tell you that, no, I'm completely morbid conversation that they get into. And I've sat through these, like, listen, I'm dying in the next 2 to 3 years. I just need my air conditioner working. I just need my electrical safe enough. I don't die from the fire.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm I'm good with setting it up that way. And I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure that we're looking not just for the 2 years or 36 months, because I have friends that were given those same timelines that are, and I actually was talking about one of them that we purchased our recent house from, who's given a similar timeline and is now 15 years past that.
Yep.
And, you know, he's 86 years old or 87 years old, something like that. And he lived past all those timelines, and probably good he didn't follow that advice. Right. And I remind him, like, well, what if the doctors are wrong? And some people don't like hearing that, but usually it's kind of fun to have that conversation with somebody who's that morbid.
Yeah.
And so I like to ask them what if they were wrong?
It's good.
It's a little shift.
I like the pivot. Who's it going to, right? So if you have a spouse, you got to be thinking about them. Are they going to live longer than you? What about the kids? Is it going to them? And then if there's no one, well, there's no U-Haul behind the hearse. You might as well enjoy it while you got it.
And I tell them just that. Well, like, do you want to go car shopping together? Like, I'll go with you. We'll get you a sweet car. Like, we can do a split on it or something. Like, I'll make fun of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, you only got 3 years. Like, well, let's figure it out. What is your bucket list left in that 3 years?
Yep.
And knowing that an air conditioner is probably not going to make it on the bucket list, what are the things on the bucket list? Because now I'm reconnecting with them in a way that they can feel like I actually care. Because I'll sit there and then build their bucket list with them.
Is this all at the front end, or are you now moving?
Probably
through
they're not going to tell me in the first 15 minutes that they're going to die in 2 years.
Right.
This is usually at the closing table after they've given objections, for sure. At the table, no, we try to keep it a lot lighter than the bucket list of your death and the morbidness.
Right. I'll tell you, one of my most memorable sales was I went into this lady's house, and older lady, and start asking questions. It looks like she's by herself. Find out husband is in hospice, right? And she keeps referring to him like she's not the decision maker, but he's in hospice. I said, well, it sounds like he's really going to help you with this decision, and you really don't know what to do. And she's like, yeah. I said, okay, why don't we go over there? And we literally drove over to hospice and went through the process. He bought the best of everything because he wanted her taken care of. And I find a lot of times when it's the husband who is wanting to care for, especially if they've got a younger wife, they're getting the best, and they want them completely covered by warranties.
I think it's my second largest customer in residential. The guy spent $425,000 with me.
Wow. Yeah.
Similar story, not quite in hospice, but he's got, I don't want to talk too much about his health, but it's not good. And he's got a younger wife, and he has a little bit larger home. And we have repiped it, all new. He part of his health condition, he couldn't handle the sound and the noise of fans running.
Okay.
And so we had to oversize ductwork. We had to oversize every bath fan. He's got 5 bath fans in the house. Like, every one of those, we tore out the drywall to get to them. We upsized them. We put in supersonic quiets. You can imagine the amount of work that we did to put in these features for him. He couldn't reach his backside anymore, and he didn't know about a bidet. So every toilet in his house now is a bidet.
Okay.
Right? We, in the repiping process, and I tell a story where I sold $36,000 worth of bidets. This is to this gentleman.
How many toilets are we talking about here?
5 bidets.
Okay. And you got to run power to them.
Yeah, it's just the seat addition to the toilet, right?
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, these aren't even. It was, and I sat with this guy many times. Like, this is now where, but every time I sat with him, he knew he had options. Every time I sat with him, and he still calls me, like, he's got my cell phone number. Like, you spend that much money with me, you can have my cell phone number. You know what I mean? Like, he became that customer, and I didn't sell him the first job. One of my guys did. Then they wanted some help on it. They said, hey, boss, why don't you come? I think you can close a bigger ticket. Get up here on this. This was 4 years ago, roughly. Yeah. When I still every once in a while popped out in the field. Now I do it for the fun of it. Like, literally, I just show up on random to my texts.
Yep.
I don't run calls anymore. It's probably twice a year. My texts are just like, boss is here, everybody. But they love it because they know they're getting a deal. If I show up, like, we're getting a deal. We're leaving with money. But he ended up spending that, and it's all because he was focused on making sure that his house for the next 25 years was completely taken care of, paid off, handled for his lady. and that she would be completely set up for her and her kid and his kid.
Yep. That's awesome.
So it's important.
Absolutely. $400,000. That had to be quite the nice house for him to spend that much on.
It's a beautiful house.
I bet.
Yeah, I think it's roughly, 6,000 square feet. And it's not even huge as it is like just nice. Yeah. And he's on some property and he's got a little guest cottage on it. And he really bought it for her and set it up for her so that it was her forever place and she can raise her kid and stay there and do whatever she's got to do after he passes.
Yeah. Do you have, say, any distinctly memorable failure on a sales call that is just like, oh man, that one burns into my brain and I got kicked out, or like just one that like really sticks out you want to tell a story on?
Yeah, I got to be honest. I still high five guys for getting kicked out. I'm a believer in pushing till you get the yes or the no.
Yep.
I'm okay with a little pushback, and I'm okay with a guy that just tells me flat out, "Hey, look, boss, I just got kicked out." And new guys are always very scared of that.
Yep.
And in sales, that's because I'm just going to call out the elephant in the room. Everybody's afraid of making somebody unhappy for a 1-star review. Y'all can go look me up, look up my reviews. I got 1-star reviews. And if you don't have them, all the power to you. But I bet your sales team isn't that good.
I agree with that 100%. If you never get kicked out, you are not asking enough questions. You're not, 80% of salespeople don't even ask for the close. Statistically.
I know.
Isn't that crazy? Like, ask for the business, guys. At least let them tell you no. So you do you've been there for 2 hours, you do all this stuff, and you didn't even ask. Like, hey, which one of these do you like? Hypothetically, if you were to choose one of these, which one would it be? Oh, okay, we can do that.
So I built processes around that, and I built magazines that are sales magazines that have very specifically, they have to ask for it because it's so blatantly in front of them that 80% can't get away with leaving without, because they've given them the magazine of what they're going to buy. And so
explain the magazine. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I have a sales process I designed and built around, you can be electric, you can be plumbing, and they all have their own magazine. First we have one of the things we do is
it's an actual magazine, like
magazine quality magazine.
Okay.
Like it is a customer value add. First, we do the first one, which I didn't go over, is at the kitchen table when we get there. It's, I think it's 16 or 19 pages long, and it's brand value. It's our guarantees, and this is literally at the kitchen table when we get there. So that's part of that kitchen table conversation that I didn't even get into. That's going to go over, again, guarantees, not really warranties, because it's not really what we're installing yet. It's more of the value of the company, what we do, who we are, the day of installation if we have to, right? What I'm going to be inspecting today, what those look like. And then the back half, literally at the centerfold, which is this actual centerfold that you can rip out. Okay. And I tell all the ladies in the house, I say, look, take this centerfold out, staple it up to the garage door, and make sure your husband knows that this is his new to-do list. And it's literally clean the gutters, check the crawl space, access, check the stuff that is simple homeowner maintenance stuff.
Okay.
But it's stuff that for the most part, we don't even do.
So this is for, it's not trade specific. It's all of them
all
in one magazine.
Trades, everything.
Okay.
And it's branded, my companies.
Sure.
And we brand it very specific. But that centerfold, then I take the guys and I say, hey, rip this out before your wife comes home. Don't let her see it.
Don't let her see your to-do list.
Don't let her see it.
That's
Otherwise,
funny.
She's going to want your, and so you get humor and you get connection with that. The guy's like, oh yeah, dude, I'm taking that. I'm throwing that away right now. Thank you very much for showing me that. And the wife's like, thank you very much for showing me that. And they feel like you care because you connected with them. Yeah. I would say it's less than 10% of the people that just look at you like cross-eyed, like, huh? But the 90% that look at you and I smile, you're like, all right, I'm getting somewhere. And then you flip past the centerfold, which all that before that was checklist, your membership, we put our actual liability insurance in there, and the current one. And so you have to reprint these all the time, right? You have to keep them updated. Then you go past the center and literally all of the rest of the pages are sales, discounts for everything we do in all the different trades. And so you stack all these trades in there, and now the customer flips through and they go, oh, you're here for my panel, but my water heater leaks. hey, can you tell me about these tankless water heaters? What do you know about generators?
No kidding.
What do you know about furnaces? My husband and I know that the air conditioner is going out, makes this wild noise.
So you have sale prices listed or just percentage of discounts? Like what, how do you format that?
$500 off, $250 off.
So not prices.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
No, I'm not about, I'm against putting my prices online. I'm against that world.
Yep.
I know some of the companies are starting to do it and finding a lot of success in it. And I think it is going to be a factor in our industry, and it's going to be a strong one.
Feels like it's just, they're so cheap, what you're seeing online, that it's just to get in the house. And then they're like, oh, it doesn't include all this stuff.
And that's, some are that way, and then some you have to honor, right? Because it's literally like, okay, well, I'm just changing this box and that box, and the person's going to sit there and fight you about it. I don't want to be on a race to the bottom. I'm the most expensive company in my market.
Yep.
And I take pride in that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be next. I want to be at the top. And that's intentional because I want every one of my employees to be paid the highest. I pay higher than union wages in our market, which in Seattle's 80. Union, I think, is right now at $78 or $72 an hour. Okay. I'm paying $82 an hour. So I'm paying higher, plus all the benefits, plus all the stuff. So guys don't have to leave us.
Is there commission blended in with that?
Well, if you're an opener and a closer, there's commission. A producer is hourly.
Got it.
So the openers are hourly plus commission, and then the closers are 100% commission because they can't touch a tool in the state of Washington and be commissioned. Washington's payroll structure makes it very difficult. And I actually think that I'm going to just say it out loud. I think that the Washington state laws reduce the opportunity for the producers to make more money.
Interesting.
And
because they're not allowed to get commission.
Right. Well, you can get it, but you have to do an hourly plus commission, or if you do the commission, you have to do all these backtracking factors of like 18 weeks and payrolls and hours, and it becomes such a payroll nightmare that even the tech themselves are confused. And then you have confusion, and a confused mind says no to anything, right? So now you have your employees looking at you like, that doesn't make sense, and you're going, well, I got to go take you back to the spreadsheet that the accounting team put together, and it just causes drama. Stay out of it. It's not worth it. Now, when you get into a state like Arizona or Nevada, where you can actually do it correctly and manage it the way it should be done off a percentage of the job and off of a percentage of the sale, it's a phenomenal way, and I'm a huge believer in it. It can be done really well, but no, not in Washington. It just doesn't let you. So you have to build that factor in.
So we started on a story. I don't think we finished.
Yeah, probably not.
Your big failure that you have that just burned in your brain.
Yeah, going into a home, one of my biggest failures was actually commenting on a picture. It's why I didn't. The wife of a deceased husband of the same week.
It's rough.
I think if I recall right, it was her water heater. She kicked me out because I asked if he needed to be in the decision. And she goes, he died last week.
Oh my gosh. That is, so she just like, you just leave.
Well, she started bawling.
Oh my gosh.
She just said, I can't handle this.
Yep.
I can't handle these decisions right now. This is too much.
Yep.
And that moment reminds me of why. And I did everything. I tried to console her, like just try to be a friend. And I said, I'm sorry. I did all that. And the best thing I could do at that moment was get out of the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And not keep pushing. She didn't call us back, understandably. And I made that mistake. I've also, post-close, I've also done other worse things, but like it's part of, you have to push the limits and be willing to push your limits and what you can communicate to a person to be able to get to those hard yeses, because they're going to make a decision, and their decision might be not to do anything. Yeah. Right.
Absolutely.
And it's good to get to that decision.
We need to get to a yes or a no. A maybe is a failure.
That's right.
I need to think about it as a failure.
I agree.
Right. So you don't need to think about it. You thought about it and you are a no.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. If you're not buying from me, that's no.
Yeah.
If you're not buying from me today, it's no.
What I tell my guys is I say, ask the homeowner, if this was $1 right now, would you buy it?
Yep.
And if the answer is yes, they're saying no to the price. Now you have the real objection, which is almost always the price, and you can
Always.
navigate that. Get through the smokescreen garbage of I need to think about it, pray about it, talk to my sisters, brothers, cousins, whoever. Like you don't need to talk to them. You've thought about it. If the price was $1, you'd buy it. So now let's navigate this. Is this one too much? Do we need to pick a different one? Right?
I love that. I've prayed with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I've prayed with a lot of people for their stuff. And I love it when they lead it. And then it's like, if you'd like, I'd be happy to pray with you. Like if you want me to say something.
Yeah.
And get involved, because then they know that you're actually there to care.
Yeah.
And then, you better give a good prayer because God's listening.
And I mean, if you're going to do that, and like for real, you better be praying that it's the right decision, not a yes or a no. Like
That's exactly right.
Or we just want the right decision.
No, you're asking
for this person.
Yeah, you're asking that they make the best decision for their family in this time of stress and concern that they have for their family. I'm asking that you help them make the best decision, whether it's me, and I'll say it right in the prayer, whether it's me, somebody else, or a different product. Just give them the best advice. And I ask that I'm able to serve them to the highest level.
That's good.
And you know what? Usually after every prayer, we get a deal.
They just need that stress relief.
That's why I believe I'm so blessed. And I'm a huge God guy. Like I believe in God. I believe I attend church every Saturday. I'm all for that. And so I have no problem getting on my knees with somebody and saying, look, if I'm not the right guy, find somebody else. But I know by the end of that prayer, because I'm so blessed and I'm such a real person, that they're going to have already spent hours probably at this point with me.
Yeah.
That I know that the likelihood, if they're willing to let me pray with them, is very high.
Yeah. It's got to be one of, when you're thinking about what gets deals, you have all the overcoming objections and all that stuff. None of that matters if they can just know that you care. And you can have gratitude in the moment, and you're serving and loving them to the best of your ability. That will get more deals than all of the sales skills and your closing ability. Overcoming all the stuff doesn't matter if you don't really love that person and care about them. And if you do that, the rest comes
It's
along.
why I say the first 15 minutes matters more than any other aspect of the whole sales call, because you're handling those objections in that first 15 minutes, and you're not getting to the no's and the yeses, right? What you're getting to is the relationship. And if you can get to that relationship early enough in the call, in that first 15 minutes, and build that trust, which is at the end of the day, the holistic thing, that's the one strong word that holds us all connected. Right? If I don't trust you, Andrew, I'm not going to buy from you.
Yeah.
End of story.
What is, other than the relationship, what's the number one thing that you see that destroys the trust of the homeowner?
Oh, I think the body language and our tonality.
Okay, so if we're talking about body language and we're destroying the trust, what is the homeowner reading in that body language?
Well, I think a lot of it is too much time on your phone, too much time on your tablet, too much time going out to your truck. These are the body languages, like the actions of that, the nervousness.
That's what I was looking for.
If you're, and I know where you're going. I want to put a bow on it for what I see on it. If you're not confident in what you're saying, your customer won't believe you.
That's right.
And the confidence comes through experience.
Sure.
But it's also trained. And people don't understand how much it's trained. That confidence doesn't come naturally for everybody.
Yeah.
It didn't come naturally for me when I started running calls.
Yep.
I was a nervous Nelly.
Yeah.
Like I was the guy like shaking at the door like, hi, I'm here. I got my white pickup outside and my T-shirt on that's got a stain from the coffee on the drive here.
Yep.
And I didn't offer him one. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't know. And we take young guys now. I love taking young, and I mean like out of high school, early 20s, and I love training them how to be confident in their own skin. Number one training I want to do, I want you to be confident to be able to stand there face to face and have a conversation awkwardly and get into the things that you're not comfortable talking about. When you can do that, and you can do it with strength and power and conviction, you can now go stand in front of a customer and be like, I'm totally comfortable sitting in front of you.
Absolutely.
Like, and I'm confident
Then
talking about
relax,
any.
you know?
That's what it comes down to. It's like you and me sitting here, like we're just totally having a good time because we're too trained individuals who love sales and communication. Sales is just communication.
Yep.
It's relationship building. And so that nervousness can become really, really contagious to the customer in fear.
It's good. It's good. So a couple things just to highlight this to the audience. Confidence builds trust. Confidence builds trust. And if you don't have that, then they're not going to trust. Doesn't matter how much they like you. If they don't trust you, they will not buy from you. So I tell my guys, if you're nervous, then talk louder and faster. They might confuse it for confidence. So just in the beginning, then really get confidence.
It's true. Yeah. You got to just rattle off some facts and be confident about your facts and go quick.
Yeah.
And then you'll get more comfortable.
And then once you learn more of the facts, you learn the technical, then dial it back and go Sesame Street style because you're confusing people.
Oh, totally. Slow down.
Yep. But in the beginning, I had to, especially, dude, we have so many engineers here in Tucson.
Oh, yeah.
That if you can't talk their language and you're not gaining that confidence, you will lose the deal just because when I did this in the beginning, I was 23 years old.
Okay.
And it's like, oh, hey kid, yeah, I'm a rocket scientist. What do you know coming in?
Right.
And one of the most fun experiences that I had was when I had one of these guys that worked at Raytheon ask me where I got my engineering degree. I'm like, oh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
Nice.
And then being able to, for grandma or someone that just doesn't know the technical, the artist, breaking it down Sesame Street style so that anyone can understand, and then being able to flip it on its head for the engineers and go technical.
So do you do, and I'm just, because I'm curious now, do you have your people come, like obviously you have a good sized company. Do they stand in front of other techs with like a role play live in front of a crowd?
So we pair them up. We haven't done like hey, get in front of the crowd. I have done it, but they're so nervous getting in front of the room that they flounder around a lot more than if they just pair up, and then I can judge them and kind of tweak them a little bit. Hey, say it this way, or make a pause here. Don't talk so fast. Don't use the technical language. Don't say that word. Like that, getting in front of the crowd is rough.
So I've found like the guys that when I force that we do what we do, like blitz weeks, like if we're not meeting our numbers in your department, and we're like, usually it's multiple weeks in a row that we've started like floundering in an department. We do a blitz week where that whole department is coming in for 7 a.m. trainings, 7 to 8. And we bring that person's, and it's different every day or multiple times. We're bringing them up in front, and they have to do it in front of the teams. And the reason they have to, and everybody's like, this is stupid. This is not what it's like. And I'm like, you're exactly right. It's not what it's like. But if you can do it here in front of your peers, and you can follow the script, that I don't need you to stick to the script. I need you to stick to the pattern. And you stick to the outline.
It's good.
Because some of the guys tweak it, and I'm good with that. They're also, we have electricians putting up $400,000 a month.
Dang.
And these are electricians putting up $400,000 a month, and you can't get there unless you're following the pattern.
Yep.
It doesn't mean it has to be perfect, but it has to be down the script.
So you got guys hitting $5 million a year?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. As electricians.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I have a plumber doing it, electrician, sales electrician, probably going to hit 3.5, maybe 4.
Okay. That's top
kind of
tier, man. That's premium.
Well, I don't know any other electricians doing it.
I know of one.
Yeah.
He's in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Guy's name is Logan. I don't know if you know the Waste No Day podcast?
Yep.
Okay. So he's one of the guys that Brian trained, and he's hitting those numbers.
But that's
outside of that, I don't know any others.
Yeah. I've got multiple in the 2 range.
Yeah.
Plus.
That's fantastic.
These are electricians that are like every other person. One of them's a lady. She's great.
Okay.
She does a great job.
And she's opener or closer?
Opener.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, hitting these numbers. So she brings in the closer, who then closes with her, right? And they set the calls up perfectly. Look, if we understand that the first 15 minutes is the most important part, we know that the opener is the most important opening part of the role. Without the opener, nothing happens.
Yep.
And every closer wants to say, I can do it without him. Well, then every opener says, I can do it without the closer. And then every producer says, well, I don't need these guys. I just need work.
You need each other.
So we all need each other. Like at the end of the day, we all know that we all need each other. And yeah, there's the unicorns, the purple elephants that can do 2 of them really well. But I've yet to find anybody that is phenomenal at all 3 roles.
So what percentage of the revenue do you dedicate to those 3 parties? Is there a percentage of total that you're dedicating to those three
Not
individuals?
necessarily revenue. I'm gonna do it a little bit different. I'm gonna answer it a little bit different than the question's formed. We have a 10K a day rule.
Okay.
Okay. So I want my opener needs to run 4 calls today. Out of that 4 calls, they need to bring me $10,000.
Okay.
Out of my closers, who are going to run 3 of the 4 with the opener, right?
Okay.
So now I'm getting into 3 of the calls, and hopefully I can get them to 4, but generally closers take longer in the home, understandably. They're getting the deal. I want out of 3 calls a 33% close rate.
Okay.
So, and if I know that their average inside a home is $10,000 or more, I've a lot of them over 18,000 as average. I know that I'm going to get $10,000 a day from a closer.
Okay.
And generally a lot more. Then my producers are to produce $10,000 worth of produced install revenue per day.
Okay.
And so if I know that I'm hitting these metrics, I can then produce a profitable business behind that. And so
do you try to keep like percentage wise? Would you say on the 10,000 that 20%, 25%
well,
is
yeah,
dedicated
all
to
of your
paying them?
yeah. I mean, look, we're higher in Washington.
Right.
And I kind of went through that why earlier. So our prices are going to be higher than other places. And that's just cost of doing business in my market and the format we've found that works the best. So we'll hit mid 20s to high 20s with production labor and install labor, field labor overall.
Cool.
Mid, sometimes even high 20s if the revenue's not all there like we want it to be. It ends up in the high 20s. And most people will tell you that's crazy. And it is pretty high.
Depends on the
for
price.
industry.
Yeah.
It's pretty high. Well, but we're paying $80-something an hour for an installer. Yeah. We're paying top dollar for openers, and we're paying high commissions for our sales team.
Yeah.
So that becomes a mid-20s. But I'm still producing a 71% gross profit in electrical, even though I'm 20.
Yeah.
Because my material costs, I know in electrical is minimal. A panel's $12,000. Right? That's to put in a panel. That's not to do the service.
So 200 amp?
Yeah, just a standard 200 amp panel indoor.
Yep.
It's $12,000. A full service, $21,000, $22,000.
What's full service? What's
That'd be a meter, mast, panel. I think down here, a lot of your guys' stuff is outdoor. So you have a little bit different format where you guys have an underground for the most part, and you have a meter and a panel together.
Okay.
I've noticed that in the Southwest, that's common.
Yep.
But in most of the country, minus this section of the Southwest, their panels are indoor in the garage or in like a room inside the house, and their meters outside with a pole going up to the overhead lines.
So 21,000 for all that, 12 on the panel only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because today's code's changed. The NEC now requires electrically that we have a fireman's disconnect. We have, and there's going to be guys on this podcast that are like, well, my code doesn't require me to do that yet.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, well, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you give your customer the highest value they can have? Why wouldn't you give them the safest opportunity for a home? Yeah. So if you're underselling it, I believe that you're missing that opportunity.
Yeah.
So in some of my markets, I'm not required to put fireman's disconnects in. I'm not required to put AFCI, GFCI breakers in everywhere. But the markets that you are required to, but why wouldn't you? Like if you know an AFCI, according to ChatGPT, which sources the American Fire Department protection, that 73% of electrically caused fires are stopped because of an AFCI. Full stop. Why wouldn't you put that in?
Yeah.
Why would you not put that in your home to protect your family? Okay, my code doesn't require me to. Who cares what your code says? Do better than your code. That's the bare minimum.
Code is bare minimum.
Bare minimum. So protect the families around you. That's why we sell at that high. Well, we have a $21,000 electrical average ticket. We sell probably one.
That's your average?
That's our average electrical ticket.
Wow.
We sell probably one generator every 2 to 3 months. People ask me all the time, well, that's all generators. Yeah. We sell a generator every couple of months. We're not a generator company. We do them. We can put them in. We get them done right. But it's not our forte.
Yeah.
So how do you create that? And I have that same average in multiple markets, those same numbers.
So you're in Washington. What other markets are you in?
Spokane.
Okay, so just different areas, yeah.
Spokane, Tri-Cities were the company I coach over there. I'm not a partner in that company, but I coach. We've now almost equaled revenue from electrical and HVAC. I've been with them for 6 months.
Dang.
And they have one electrician that's a producer electrician. They have one electrician. They have all HVAC techs, and their HVAC techs are producing the electrical revenue.
Wow.
This is what I teach and train the best.
Okay.
I mean, like, this is my gold nugget. You want to add a division and profit center to your company, you just need HVAC guys. You need one licensed installer. We'll get you more because you're going to need them after your HVAC techs have understand the electrical process.
Okay.
And we'll be averaging $10,000 to $20,000 tickets in weeks.
So you can do your heating or cooling preventative maintenance and then the electrical inspection in one fell swoop.
All of it.
And then
with your one tech.
So you got your tech, but then you got a closer behind him.
Yeah, of course.
And then the producer, of course. You got.
Yeah. I want to get to, and I don't have this model, and I heard this model recently. And this is, I took it to my operator about a month ago. I said, we're in the next 6 months, we're going to have this dialed in to where the production team is literally down the road.
That is a tough thing to navigate in any department.
I'm getting really close. We're getting to the close rates high enough that the production teams can almost follow the closers knowing what they're going in for. And you have them switching departments. You have to, like, sometimes this closer might be going to a plumbing call and then next he's going to an electrical call. Yep. Well, you send your electrical production team
interesting.
Following the next. Yeah, our closers close.
They close regardless of department.
Our closers close.
Wow.
Our openers are opening. So our opening is generally the skill and trade that they come from.
Got it. Okay.
But we run our model the way that I don't care if you're electrical, plumbing, HVAC, it doesn't matter.
Got it.
A sales guy is a sales guy. And I don't hire my sales guys. One of my top sales guy right now currently is a plumber. He's not licensed, but he plumbed for me. He came from the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
Plumbing apprenticeship. And then he's like, okay, I want my own truck. I said, well, you got to get your license. You got to do all this. And so he got really close. And then he started selling. He goes, well, I need to also do my own installs. I said, well, you can't, you're not licensed. So I'd have to send a licensed guy to go help him with his installs because he was good at it. And then finally he goes, okay, I think I'm ready to just sell because this is kind of annoying. You make me wait. Because I have to follow all these stupid regulations Washington has.
Yep.
I mean, I think they're stupid. I've got a lot of fines and probably one of the highest fined people in Washington. So is it Marshawn Lynch that said I'm here so I don't get fined?
It's something about good leaders, I think. I just don't like government intruding in my business. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah. I'll do it by the book.
Yep.
I'll do it by the book.
You have to.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yep.
But don't change the rules as we go and don't create new things that just make no sense.
Yep.
But yeah, just allow free enterprise to happen.
When you're going on a call or when your people are going on a call, you've got service calls and you've got estimates.
Yep.
Tell me how you treat those differently or your view going in on those.
Well, it starts at our office, in my opinion, on service and estimates.
Okay.
They're exactly the same. We run them exactly the same.
Okay.
If somebody wants an estimate on a new furnace, on a new electrical panel, we run it identical to a service call. Now, the speed of the closer position coming in will be increased. So he may get there in 10 minutes instead of 30 minutes.
So if let's say it's AC, you'll still send an AC on an estimate. You'll send an AC technician and a closer. You won't just send the closer.
100% of the time.
Okay.
Why?
Because you want the relationship and then the closer.
You've already got it.
Yeah.
That's it. I want that relationship built, and then I want him to refer the closer to come in, the field supervisor to come in and earn the business that way. And I'm a huge believer of that relationship and that process. Mm-hmm. And what we find is we close better. We close at an on average 15 to 20% higher close rate.
Yep.
When I set that up.
So let's say person's calling in. They say, hey, I'm getting estimates on a replacement AC. How do they respond in order to get a technician there and not just a sales estimate?
Yeah, I want to get an estimate on my HVAC system. Yep. The CSR is just going to take that same conversation and say, hey, look, we're happy to get a person out there to give you an estimate on that. They'll be out there tomorrow at 2:30.
So they're not even telling them it's a tech. They're just...
Why would they? Don't we need to know what the actual system is? Don't we need to have the experience and knowledge that a tech, because what if the tech could fix it?
Sure.
No, we're not going to. But what if the tech could fix it?
Yeah.
Right? And maybe it was just as simple as a fuse. How much value, how much likeliness are they going to buy from you next time?
Sure.
Right? So let's get the tech out there. He's going to take measurements, ductwork drawings, We're going to do all of that before we sell anything.
Okay.
That's part of my sales magazines.
So heat load calc, the tech is doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Absolutely. And then the sales guy is going to validate and verify what the tech already did.
Okay.
So once that all gets started, now we have the education for the customer already going from the tech who's technical and friendly. And then we bring in the expert field supervisor to help validate what he just said and did. Yep, that's right. That's the second opinion. And now you can go tech. I'm going to get the customer set up with a new system.
Okay. So when the closing feels so much easier when you're on your own customer, you've owned that customer for 5 years, you're going on a tune-up, and it just rolls into a sale. They already trust you. But if someone's calling you for the first time and they got 3 other people lined up behind you, I'm going into warrior mode, right?
Yeah.
I'm going and I am trying to systematically dismantle their trust in the other guys, get them to say that, like, let's say that they found you because you got good reviews on Google.
Yeah, of course.
Well, that means they're finding everyone because they have good reviews on Google. So that's not an advantage.
not.
So you've got to find things that you're doing I just treat it differently. If you're already warmed up on a service call, you can just love them and take care of them, and then you get to price and you overcome that. But when you're going to battle with these other companies who are trying to convince them that it's them,
Yep.
I don't know. How do you treat
Well,
it differently?
Ideally, you're going to be last in line, right? Like ideally.
If you can, yeah.
But how often do you want to be last? Because what happens if you don't get an opportunity because you're last?
That's right.
And I hate when people tell me, well, we're just going to always be last. We tell the customer, if listen, we're going to book you out 4 days and we want to be last.
Yeah. Get me out there and watch me cancel your appointment, right?
Like, I would rather just go first.
Yep.
Like put me in first. Now, most guys aren't confident enough to do that. Clearly you and I are, right? Put me in first, coach, and let me show you what I can do.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go show so much value to this person that they're going to be like, holy crap, this is amazing. Like I've been educated. I feel like I'm an HVAC tech by the end of this call.
Yeah.
Right. And that their education level, if they're engineering, because that's usually the person that's doing the 3 estimates more than anybody, frankly, because sales guys, we don't have time for it in our minds, whether we're actually just going to go watch the football game or not, doesn't matter. Mentally, we don't have time for it. We're like, I just want my price. I want my job fixed and I want to move on.
Yeah.
Right. That's how most sales guys are. Not all of them, but most of them are. And so we know, like, let's just get right to it and get it done. But the engineer doesn't. They're like, no, we have to think about it. We have to get the wife involved. I should probably call my uncle who was a engineer 45 years ago in the HVAC department, right? Like, okay, well, they were managed differently. They were designed differently and all that. And we're big on duct work. We're big on airflow.
Okay.
And knowing that, we separate ourselves from most box installers.
Okay. Tell me about that.
Well, understanding the principles about how air moves, how the static pressure happens inside of a system, getting down the HVAC tunnel. Like, I want my customers to be able to envision what a comfortable home, quiet, but yet also efficient home could be like.
Okay.
And that only happens when you manage the airflow correctly.
So you're identifying if there's an airflow issue.
Of course.
And are you doing that by
let's
asking
ask that
them?
question again. How many homes do you go into that don't have an airflow issue?
30%.
Right. Not very many.
Right. So are you guys replacing ductwork?
Of course.
Or you're sealing it, like AeroSeal?
All of the above.
Okay.
Yeah, all of the above. And you have to have the tools to be able to do all the above, or you can't really sell it, or you can't really say you're an airflow company.
Right. So are you doing any testing for duct leakage, like blower door, duct blast, or anything before? Or
Well, not so much for that, because you can see it. What I believe in, and I actually brought them. So I'm in the room with me right now, like a heat gun with an infrared.
Yeah.
And then let the cold air come out of the ductwork. You can see it. Let the hot air come out in the wintertime.
Yep.
Like it's very simple. You don't even have to get elaborate. You don't have to. Then we check static pressure.
Yep.
If the static pressure is really high, is it leaking? Probably not. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
And if it is, I'm sure not going to seal it until it's fixed.
Yeah.
So that we have the proper airflow so that we can seal it.
Yeah.
But I am not even as concerned about leakage of ducts as I am the air coming back in to the ducts, the Ventura effect. And if you understand the Ventura, right, I can tell by your face, you understand that that's even grosser than all of the rest of the leakage. Like, all right, I don't care about your energy bill anymore. I care about what your family's breathing.
That's right.
Like, at the end of the day, efficiency doesn't sell jobs. Comfort and family safety sells jobs.
Yeah. So we teach that when you're dealing with the world of air conditioning, there are certain pains that people spend money on.
That's right.
And what happens is that efficiency is a pain, but it's the lowest of all the 5 pains.
That's right.
Health and safety is at the top, along with comfort is at the top, both having to deal with ductwork and the Venturi effect.
100%.
So if you're pulling in all that junk and garbage and fiberglass and rat feces and all the stuff from the attic, that's really bad for your health. And you probably have hot and cold pockets to boot.
Guaranteed.
Right?
And what you can do is go grab the air filter, one of the first places I take them to after doing the static pressure test. Now I take the air filter and I ask them to pull out what they see in their air filter.
I love that. So I love getting the customers to declare and mark in their mind with a dendrite what is going on and then speak it, because then we like to say that when you say something, it might be true, but they're really skeptical because they don't trust you. In fact, they trust you less statistically than a used car salesman or an attorney.
That's right.
So when you say something, yeah, it might be true. I'm really skeptical. If you can then back it up with documentation, U.S. Department of Energy, Energy Star, Health and Lung Association, you have documents. It's good, right?
Yeah.
But if you can,
it's a step.
it's okay, right? You're still trying to convince them, but they will convince themselves 100% if you can just get them to say it. What do you see in this filter? What do you think that's doing for your health? Do you think that's bad? Do you think that's good for your family? Do you have some allergies going on too? Do you think this might contribute to that? And just get them to say it, and it's done. That is sold when they say it.
It's them buying into the truth.
Yeah.
That's so
So
important. Good. So important to get the customers buy-in from themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you read that somewhere? Where did you get that tactic from?
I don't know.
Okay. So
I don't know. I've been going after it for years, but I've just known it works. I can't say where I found it one spot.
Yeah. I've been using it as well, but what firmed it up the most in my mind was the book Influence by Dr. Cialdini. And he goes into all the the studies and everything, and it was like it just blew my hair back, what little I have left, and it just solidified in my mind how important it is to get the customers to say what it is they're seeing.
Say that book one more time.
Influence by Dr. Cialdini.
Awesome. I'll have to go look it up.
Oh, it's so good.
I've not read that one.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, no, I know for sure it works.
It's one of Alex Hormozy's top 5 recommendation.
Okay.
Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I think we should go into how we get the high volume and high average tickets that we get.
Yes, please.
So it's really important to understand the process and why we've stuck to the 2-man close inside the home.
Yeah.
Is to get that average ticket is where it's at. For one, you have to have your ownership, your leadership, and your salesmanship have to believe in your pricing.
Yep.
I go often to businesses now, and I travel all over the country now, doing on-sites with businesses and helping them get their average ticket and get their sales process to actually create a profit, and not a little profit. We've got multiple companies now running in the mid-20s that are percentage of profit in their electrical departments, their HVAC departments, because they're priced correctly. Yeah. And I know you built your business, but when you first started, you probably weren't priced correctly for what you wanted to be.
When I was first started from the garage, I did really well.
Yeah.
Then once you start adding middle
overhead,
management, right? And so, yes, I priced it at what I was selling it at working for other people. And that was, hand over fist money, just stuffing it in the bank. Then once you buy property and vehicles and you add a layer of middle management, now you're losing money.
Yep.
And you got to figure that out real fast or you go out of business on your way up.
You sure do. Yeah. It's important to understand the value of your team and what it takes to actually get to that profit at scale.
Yeah.
Right. And as you scale, you have to learn that what cost you less than per hour, your vans, your trucks that you had in your garage, you didn't have a building like you have here, all of the people working here, all of the stuff being expensed to that company because it's not cheap running the company. They forget how much you spend in toilet paper. Who
or if
thinks
it's getting
about
stolen during COVID.
Well, hopefully not, right? but it happened, right?
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, those underlying costs, they're the soft costs of running the business that are missed.
Yeah.
And understanding your pricing so that you can actually create a true profit. And if we know McDonald's on average is over 20, I think it's 26% is their net per location.
It's pretty good.
And we in the trades who go and create and master a skill and a trade are happy with single digit to low teens on average.
Yeah.
Like, I think nationally, last time I checked on ChatGPT, and I don't want to misquote something, but it was in like the high single digits is the national average for a construction company's profit. That's sad.
Yep.
We're out busting our butts, trying to make ends meet, feeding our families. Most of construction companies in service are 1 and 2 man, up to 10 man shops.
Yeah.
Like that's the majority of them out there. And they're barely making it ends meet. They're barely able to go out and, create a good life for their family. And that's really why we do it. Like, why else are we building these enterprises if it's not to build a good life for our own family? Right?
Yep.
Like it's to provide for others. And yes, I have the opportunity because I built companies. I get it now, which is so rewarding, like beyond value. Like you got to go see the reaping the rewards of your employees, like their rewards. I had one text me last week, the picture of the new Turbo 911 he bought.
Nice.
When your employee can go out and buy a Turbo 911, you know you're doing something right.
That's awesome.
Like that is just one of the most gratifying moments. And it's I don't think it's brand new, but it's probably a 2-year-old car. Like anybody who knows cars, like that is not a cheap car.
Right.
I mean, he now drives a nicer car than me and I love it. Like it made me so happy. I just first thing I did, turned it to my wife. I'm like, look what he did. That's so cool. I'm so happy. And he can afford it.
Yep.
He's got a nice house. He's got all of the nice things. And he doesn't have to go look for work anywhere else because he knows he's well taken care of.
Yeah.
What's important is building the culture around that high dollar ticket. Mm-hmm. And what we do specifically is we train our technicians, our salespeople to know that they're going to have to sell it at the highest dollar in the whole city. And we tell them up front, look, if you're not comfortable overcoming objections on price, we're not the place for you to be a salesperson at. It's just not going to be good for you. So let's find you a different opportunity because we're going to be selling at the highest value. So we have to go deliver that. We have to have the cleanest trucks, the whitest shirts, everything has to be just right. And we have to go build that value. And then we have to price to where we're uncomfortable with it even a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we can come down. And I also believe that I want to be priced above where I need to be to make my margins.
Yep.
So that I can give back, right? I can put a 10% off coupon going on. I can put a manufacturer's discount, right? I love using the suppliers, the manufacturers, and rebates that we create, right? I love using those opportunities to create discount and value for a customer.
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest ways. And I think that the 2-person sale, the 2-person close is what allows you to get to those higher dollars because it was much harder when we just had one person.
So did you, at some point you had one person doing all 3 positions?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. When you start out, it was me and a pickup.
And you figured this out on your own or you learned from someone?
This model I've molded from Landon and Lewis. Lewis Bruno, Landon Brewer, partners of mine, they have totally helped me change the operational aspect.
Okay.
And we share sales ideas.
Cool.
Right. They help me understand the true mastery of operations.
Okay.
Where I was always the sales guy.
Yeah.
And I'll take both of them and they'll tell you like I'm one of the best sales guys they ever worked with.
Yeah.
Like because that's what I do. Like I create salesmen. Like I create the culture and the experience to where everybody in the company is hungry. And it's why my company's always done well.
Yeah.
But when I learned how to have them come in and help me master our operations, it was our sales team just blew up because now it was getting done faster, more efficiently, less complaints, less callbacks, all of these things. And our profits literally just soared. Didn't kind of crawl up. Yeah. They soared.
You just fixed the back end.
Once I learned to fix the back end, because I didn't focus on it, I'm like, well, we outsell our problems.
Yeah.
Like, and I
Absolutely.
know there's lots of us, and I know because
Oh,
you're a
100%.
sales guy,
Yeah.
you have to have had these moments
100%.
in your business where you're like, okay, we're struggling right now. Well, I'm gonna go out and run some calls. We'll be fixed struggling here pretty soon because we're gonna outsell our problems. You can't outsell your problems. You just create more, and they create bigger, and they get stronger and harder and more difficult to overcome, and they become more expensive because you're just not fixing them. And I know this because I had to walk through that path.
So you said you are really good at creating hunger and salespeople.
Yep.
How? What
Your
are you doing
training.
that other people are not?
Well, your culture has to be that.
Okay.
So we have
How did you create that culture?
Well, we have a culture of, well, for one, you have to find people that are naturally hungry. Like, and that starts with the hiring process, frankly. If you come to work for me, which we only really accept winners, so you have to be a winner before you come. I will transform your winning into exponential winning. Does that make sense? But you have to mentally know I'm already a winner. And I ask people in their interviews, like, what do you think about yourself? You know what the hardest question to like be asked in an interview is? What do you think about yourself, Andrew? You're like, I'm applying for a job. And what aspect? Who do you consider yourself to be? Like if you were sitting here and talking to the Queen, what would you say?
The Queen. The
of
Queen of
England.
England?
Yeah. Or now it's the King. But like, what would you say if she said, well, introduce yourself?
I'd be flabbergasted. I'm Andrew. Hi, how you doing? I own a AC company.
Right.
Right.
But what you're trying to do is find out, like, are they confident in themselves?
Sure.
First and foremost, you got to believe in you.
Well, if I'm interviewing, like if I were to not have all of this and I'm interviewing for a job, I'm just gonna say I'm the best salesman you've never had yet, and you want me on your team, like plain and simple.
And I'm going to ask you why.
You want my process? I'm happy to walk through it with you. I serve and love and care for the customers, build relationship. I have a set process that produces extremely high average tickets and closing ratios. Happy to walk through it with you. You got a couple hours?
Yeah, I would probably say yes. With somebody that confident, I would say yes. Walk me
Great.
through it.
And
And
I
in
would just
probably 30 minutes, we would leave the interview and you'd be
Mm-hmm.
hired, not have a contract in front of you that you'd be in.
Yeah.
Because you're right. When somebody like you or I walk in a room
Mm-hmm.
and they walk into our sales funnel of recruitment funnel, they're getting hired on the spot.
Yeah.
They're not leaving. They can be an installer and be that confident in their installs, but not their sales ability. And it's the same format.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. We're going to walk in here together and let's walk into the accounting HR office and let's get you signed up.
Yep.
What do we need to make that happen? That's a different conversation than most people that walk in our home, in our office, and they come in with, well, I'm a good sales guy. I'm really confident. I've been selling windows for the last 35 years or cars, or 15 years in cars, and I've done this sales, that sales. Okay, well, why are you special? And I'll teach you the process. I don't even care that you know the process. I don't care that you've never sold anything. Why are you special? Why are you different than the other 15 or 25 guys that came to tonight's hiring experience?
Mm-hmm.
And we do, I think you and I talked about this earlier. Like I do a hiring experience.
Yeah.
Every single Tuesday, you can come to my office at 4:30 and you can get interviewed. And we don't do it any other time unless it's for a very specific roles in the company. Otherwise, my accountants come through there, my controllers, my CSRs,
And it's a group style interview.
always.
Okay.
And I do it when I'm there. I do it in front of everybody. Like we do basically a 15-minute presentation, kind of interactive, but presentation of who the company is, what kind of company you're working for. And I have our managers do that. And they do a great job at it. When I'm in town and I'm in the office on those Tuesday nights, I do spot interview with every single one of the people, like 20 interviews in a row. And then I legitimately will tell you if like you're moving on or not.
Right there on the spot.
Right
in front of
there.
everyone.
Right there on the spot.
Wow. Okay.
I'm pretty to the point. I've been known for being a little bit blunt.
Yep.
But I will tell people like, well, that's wonderful. It sounds like you've had a great past. I don't think it's going to be a fit here. Thank you so much for your time today.
Okay.
And like I've had people yell at me. I'm just like, well, that's cool. Like I would rather know how they're going to behave
Yeah.
Like
So-
if they're going to do it in that situation, and I've never insulted anybody. I've never like said anything rude to them. I'm very cautious and I'm like considerate about, hey, well, look, that's great. You could sit here and do an interview, but the likeliness is not for right now what we're looking for. That's not what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And you're just not a fit for that role.
We have toyed with the idea of doing that and are concerned with getting 1-star reviews and just having them go blast us for.
Yeah, I've got this.
So
My team does not always love me when I do these. But what I found is you have 25 people. Like I'm sure you've had good size events as well, where you have 20, 15, 20 people in there. Like you have 5 managers in there. Well, it's going to take hours to interview that many people. And it doesn't matter how many people you divvy out and you do all this stuff. When you knew sitting in that room, probably 5 of them out of 25 you knew were not a fit.
Yeah.
Like, and you knew 5 of them were like for sure fits. And so if you take those odds and you go, okay, look, I might be wrong and it sounds cruel and it sounds unhuman, but I'm saving them a lot of time. I'm saving them, my management, and me a lot of time that they can't get back by sitting in my training room waiting to get interviewed. Because I'll go in afterwards and be like, interview that person last, that person last, that person. And they're usually telling me, like, honestly, my management team now tells me, no, boss, we're going to give that person a shot. No, we're going to not. Like that person's not, it is or isn't. And it's because I do about a 1 minute. It takes about 60 seconds for me to interview you in front of everybody. And I'll know enough about you to know if it should be an option.
What are you asking in that 1 minute?
First, we have them on the questions are on the board behind me. And so everybody has the exact same questions. And it depends on your role. So if you're coming in for a CSR, I'm going to ask you how much you care about customers, right? So I'm going to ask you something customer centric. If you're coming in for a production role, do you have any pictures on your phone, like right now, of your best install? And if their pictures are 5 years old, they're not a good installer.
Okay.
I want to know when it was taken, how soon. Like, oh yeah, you want to see yesterday's?
Okay.
All right, show me your most recent picture on your phone of an install that you've done. Most recent.
What if they don't take pictures?
Well, then they're probably not working for a very modern company if they don't take pictures of their install.
Sure.
Like you should have pictures of your installs.
Yep.
Guys, you should be taking pride in your work. I take pictures of my customers all the time.
Yep.
I get selfies like this.
Yep.
With my customers that I just sold $50,000 to because I'm so confident that we're now friends that I'm probably invited to their daughter's wedding in 6 months. And no, I'm not marrying her. I'm already good. I've had those setups done too.
Do you ask them to post that selfie of them and you all happy on the
Of
Google
course.
review? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I want Googled, and that's why we do it.
Yep.
I'm like, hey, let's get a selfie. Can we use your phone?
Right? Go ahead and use that when you're done.
Yeah,
Give me a
let's.
5-star
Hey,
review.
our guys actually, our openers actually get the review.
The opener does. Okay.
So here's another aspect. When your opener gets the relationship, he's easy to get a review. He's the friend.
Yep.
Before the closer goes in for the close, he gets the review on how he served the customer today.
Before it's closed.
Before it's sold.
Wow. Okay.
Try it out. You might like it.
Cool.
You might really like it. It's fun. It gets a lot of reviews. We pay $25 for every review to every guy.
Yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to, but I don't really care.
It's a tip to the guy. You can pay your guys what you want.
Yeah, not technically according to some of the review company standards,
Okay.
but
I think we already established how much we like rules and people telling us what to do.
yeah, I pay them well, and we pay them cash. We literally pay them cash. We've started using, which I love, Volca.
Volca. Okay.
Volca is an app, and they have a referral app. And I get paid nothing for this, but you guys should try them out. Phenomenal.
Okay.
Phenomenal. Like the way it sets up into the company, they manage and help you get your guys that spiff money. Fantastic.
Cool. I think I saw them were they at Freedom? Home Service Freedom?
Yeah, they were. They flew out to my company. They've set up and they're doing like really cool things.
Okay. Nice.
So then it makes it easier for the payroll. Like we were divvying out literally greenbacks out of the accounting office. And so I would go down to every 2 weeks, we were going through $4,000 to $5,000 in cash.
Wow.
Well, as you can understand, like a controller doesn't like dealing with that kind of
Right.
cash. That should make them, and it should make them feel nervous.
Yeah.
Right. And so, I mean, like our audit sheets and our logs, like we're signing off, she's signing, and then has another person in the room so she can pull out the cash, manage it like an ATM. But it's like $4,000 or $5,000 in cash that they're like having to divvy out in 20s and 5s. And different spiff money that we do. We do a lot of spiffs on, if you sell this star package this week,
Okay.
we're putting a $200 spiff on it every time you sell it. And I want you paid today.
Yep.
You got a money problem? Come see me. I'm going to tell you to go sell something.
Right. So
That's it. It's that simple. I'll spiff you out on going to sell something.
Did we completely cover how you're getting these big tickets? Like I know
It's the culture.
So the hiring the right people.
Yep.
The hungry culture, and then just the process.
Then training the process. I mean, I could teach the process. It'd take us about 3 hours.
Right. I'm just really interested on the electrical side. Like we have, that's our smallest department. AC and plumbing, they're doing really well. Really interested on the electrical side.
Can I ask you a couple of questions?
Sure.
To get into it. What is your electrician's process right now inside of the home to get any sort of ticket?
So you are asking the wrong person. So we started electrical as a happenstance because we were selling solar.
Yeah. So what do your electricians do in the home right now?
It
could be a made up process that you kind of do haphazardly.
So the only calls they're going on, we have a bunch of maintenance customers, and our guys are only going on maintenance. We don't advertise electrical at all.
Perfect.
And so they're going in and they're going through all of the electrical things, the breaker panel, and identifying any health and safety concerns.
When they're in the panel, do you know what they're doing?
I have no idea.
I'm cool with that answer. Yeah. Most HVAC owners have no clue.
Yeah.
Are they following the manufacturer specifications on the maintenance and tune-up? Probably not.
Okay.
I'm just going to assume probably not, because most electricians don't even know that a breaker is required to be exercised how many times a year? Twice a year. Right. Okay. And I understand you don't know, and I get it. Like, I'm going to tell you, most people don't know. Even electricians don't understand. By Eaton, Square D, Siemens, they all say in their owner's manual and how to maintain your breaker. Exercise removal from the bus bar, re-put back into the bus bar. So when I asked you earlier, do you mind if there's anything turned off inside your home?
You're going to turn everything off.
I am literally going to black out your home.
Huh.
Why? Well, so I can exercise your breakers. I want you to stand there and watch me exercise every one of them. I'm going to retorque every one of your breakers. What are we going to find when that happens? We're going to find brittle, broken breakers all the time. You're going to have pitting, copper discoloration. And I can already tell you your guys aren't doing this. Like, otherwise you'd have average tickets like I do.
Right.
They're not pulling the breakers off the bus bar. They're not checking that connection. They're not looking for the discoloration that happens from heat. I guarantee they're probably not doing an infrared picture of every panel that they go to. When you pull that panel cover off, you do an infrared of that panel, bam, you've already seen your hot spots. Now go follow that hot spot. And it may not be above what the panel's rated for at 90-degree column in the 316 code reference, but it is for sure warmer than the other spots. And is that causing damage over time? That AC unit, is it causing damage to that bus bar every time it turns on? Well, it might be if it's not got a good connection. And how do you know it doesn't have a good connection? You have to inspect it. You have to do a visual inspection on every one of them. That's just what we do in the panel. And that's not even all of it. Like, that's just the little, like, the collapsed version. Then I'm going to take your infrared gun and I'm going to find, I like to go to, while the infrared's still in my hand, I love it. Getting there in the morning, they got the coffee pot on. It's still like brewing in the kitchen. Yeah. And like finding what GFI is feeding that coffee pot that's not plugged into it.
Okay.
But like downstream or upstream, technically upstream of the circuit, it'll be glowing red on your screen.
Okay.
Why? Because it's got heat passing. People don't understand this. Electricity passes through the receptacles to get to that receptacle down there. And you don't think about it because it's invisible.
So the other receptacles would be hot. Okay.
Now you're showing why those are hot. And then you go to the one and you check the voltage drop on it and you see how much amperage it's drawing right there. And it can show you if you have good voltage drop at that receptacle. And if we did this correctly and we had them all at the under the 5%, which is the simple math that the NEC requires, of 3% voltage drop for the feeders coming into your house before your meter.
Okay.
And then it allows 3% voltage drop from the branch circuit out to each device. Okay. Klein makes a wonderful tool, RT390, I think is the tool. It's a circuit analyzer. You plug it into a 120 volt outlet. It tells you the 3 different 12 amps, 15 amp, or 12, 15, and 20 amps on under load, what the voltage at that receptacle will be.
What it
Because
should
it's test it, what
Yeah.
it should be.
Okay.
No, what it is.
Oh,
Not
it
what
is?
it
Okay.
should be,
Okay.
what it is. It'll tell you what it is and then what it is under load. And when you're doing that, when you bring voltage down, you bring amperage up to cover the difference.
Okay.
That's Ohm's law. And so when we send amperage up, we now have the resistance factor that now creates heat,
Yep.
the amperage up. So now we're creating more heat on that line. Is it damaging those receptacles, connection points, things like that? So we don't sell read devices. We sell connection corrections, which include read devices.
Okay.
We're going to put new connections. We're going to put new receptacles, which is just free. We give the receptacles away, but we're really just going in and fixing every one of these connections to be a permanent connection behind every receptacle. And that's how we get an average ticket of $21,000 at a 71% gross profit.
And I'm assuming your mastery class that you're going to be teaching has all the details of this.
We're
stuff
going to
in
be
there.
spending hours and hours and hours mastering this hands-on. Everybody who goes is going to leave with a set plan of how they're going to price and how they're going to sell and install these electrical devices. Like, it's not just for the sales guys. It is for the sales guys. It's for your sales guys, and it's for the owners and the managers. That's what it is. It's the electrical business mastery. So
not necessarily the opener.
no, openers, closers, owners. That's who should come.
Got it.
Openers, closers, owners. I'm not going to teach you how to install receptacles. I'm not going to teach you how to be an electrician. I will teach you how to talk like one. I'll teach you how to communicate like one, and I'll teach you how to be super, super profitable in electrical. We have one of my shops is brand new. It was started in exactly 1 year ago, 12 months this month. So middle of December 15th was our first hire of an employee. Last year, we're going to did just under 2 million in revenue at a 28 or 29% on that
Wow.
company. Brand new. No name recognition, no nothing behind it. And
great.
we're just going to scale it and keep going with it. We'll probably add, one of the other, I'll probably go HVAC next into it in the next year or two.
Nice.
Just because HVAC gives you volume and it's the easiest one to turn, what I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
In bringing HVAC techs to turn to electrical.
Okay.
My HVAC techs turn the HVAC call into electrical call, and then the closer closes it. I don't need an electrician to come out and close it. They all have the skill and knowledge enough. They're not electricians. My openers don't have to be journeyman electricians because the process we teach is just an inspection and a knowledge base. It's not about being an electrician. It's about having the knowledge that you can talk about that refers back to the code, safety, from the fire code to the National Electrical Code.
Okay.
That's why it works. That's why HVAC companies that bring me out are like exponentially grow in revenue when they bring me out for electrical training to their HVAC techs, because they don't have to add any overhead. They have zero management that needs to be added. They have all they need to do is add installation of electrical.
As far as you know, because I've never heard of this before, right? Are you the only guy doing this? Training on this specific?
You know what? There's a couple of guys that I know that are talking electrical, but I believe I'm the only one doing it this way.
Training HVAC techs to do electrical?
No, I don't think so.
Like, I haven't heard of that before.
Yeah.
That's pretty unique.
It's unique. And I've proven it. I've been to, I've only have one place, only one spot that I have not outsold my fee the time I was there.
Nice.
There's only one, and I've been to now 9.
So when they bring you out, how long's the training?
3 days.
So you have a full 3-day training, then you ride with the guys?
No. I do what I find works the best. We do 2 hours in the morning, generally on like Tuesday.
Okay.
Right, I'll come out like either a Monday through Wednesday or like a Wednesday through Friday. I like earlier in the week because then I get them to stay with me through the whole week and I can really cement the process in. Earlier in the week's better. And what I find in this process is we do about 2 hours the first day and they all have questions, and they're all nervous. Like, why am I an HVAC tech? I didn't want to be a electrician.
Yeah.
Right. And I just give them the tools. I give them the circuit analyzer, and I give them the only two tools I need you to carry as an HVAC tech: circuit analyzer and the infrared gun, because most of them don't carry these two tools.
Is the FLIR one okay? You plug it into the phone, or you need
Yeah,
like an
yeah, they
individual?
work. I like the pistol grips, I call them
Okay.
pistol grips, but
Yeah.
they got a little screen on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because the techs lose less of them. That's why. Frankly, that's why. It has nothing to do with the screen or anything like that. The display on your iPad's way better.
Sure.
But too often the guys lose those little, because they're like little dongles and
Yeah.
they get lost. But yeah, the FLIR's that's where it's at. They go in and they just use them. I just want day one. I just want you to just put it up in front of the panel, pull the panel cover off. I asked, first question, is anybody here uncomfortable taking a panel cover off? Well, they're HVAC guys. They should not be. They've been playing in furnaces that are air handlers and that. They should be comfortable pulling electrical panel cover off.
Yeah.
I don't want you to do anything in the panel. I want you to pull it off and do an inspection.
Yep.
Now, my more seasoned guys that are comfortable, I will have them exercise breakers, and over time, the guys get good at that. And depending on your area, your code regulations, those kind of things, don't become an electrician, blah, 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 blah. There's your safety talk for you. But if you can get away with it and it's within the regulations, do it and pull the breakers, look behind it, look at the actual bus bar.
Okay.
If you can't, you can at least see where the two lugs come down, where the feeders are coming down in there, and you can see the discolorations. You can start there. You can see the discolorations in your neutral bars, your ground bars, and you can see what's happening here. You can show customers very easily what's happening, what's going on. Then we're going to take them to the receptacles. We're going to do the voltage drop, and we're just going to plug it in. All I want you to do day one is take it, just upload the picture you took the voltage drop. I understand you're too nervous to talk to the customer. You're not even educated enough to talk to them yet. And if you customer gets really nervous and wants to talk, put me on speakerphone because I'm there. So now I stay behind. I don't do ride-alongs because the techs are the first step of the process. The closers, which depends if they're using a phone close model or if they're using a in-person close model, they're the ones now they have to sift through all the same trainings as the openers. I train almost the same, but we have two different ones at Deere because we have enough staff to do that. But in this training, now the closer is going to go in. He's probably going to call me because he's there now at the home, and he's going to put me on speakerphone. And I'm just going to walk the customer through and the closer through, and we'll get the deal just over the phone close.
Nice.
That'll do. But I'm always staying back with the managers, usually call by call. If you're running a call by call, hopefully you are. And I know you are, but I'm just saying, hopefully they are the people listening to this. It's the best way to run your operation. You don't need managers to manage. You need them to manage the process, not the people as much as if they're managing the process, the people will follow the process or the people will be replaced by somebody who will follow the process. And that's what the reality of any business is operated. And McDonald's doesn't do it the way they do it because the people, they do it because of the process. And we all know that the burger's going to taste the same here in Phoenix as it is in Seattle. Right. So back to it, we need to make sure that this same thing is being followed every time. And so I'm going to stay back with your call by call teams, and I'm watching every call. I'm watching, hopefully you guys use a Slack channel, hopefully use something that manages your communication, whether at whatever form you're using. I've seen them all. You have Slacks, you have text messages was one, you have, just different ways that it's being controlled. And we want to control that narrative that's going to the customer inside the home. And then I'm going to help the ownership. Before I even go, I always upload my price book into their software.
Okay.
And we go off my pricing first.
Okay.
And you know how many people just lose their mind when they see it? When you see, when you're used to selling panels for $3,000 or $4,000, and then the next day I come in and I sell the same panel you sold for $4,000 for 14. The only person who's high-fiving me is the owner. Everybody else is nervous and like, this is insane. You can't do that here. And then I go show you can. Because I don't want to, I got to be careful how I say this because I've had a couple of people say, well, you shouldn't say that out loud. Electrical, and I'm just going to say it because I still believe it. And I haven't lost my belief in it. Electrical is different than HVAC and it's different than plumbing. What are you selling in HVAC? You said it earlier. What are you selling in HVAC? What's the thing that you're selling?
I mean, it could be warranty, efficient. You're solving pain.
Yeah, which at the end of the day is comfort. Right?
Sure.
You're selling
absolutely.
comfort.
Yep.
Right. You're selling their comfort in HVAC. That's warmth, cold, whatever that is. At the end of the day, efficiency, like we said earlier, doesn't really matter. The comfort is what matters.
Yeah.
There's safety in HVAC only. It's really only there if things are burning up or if like things are actually like the heat exchangers failed and you have carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's not a lot of safety in it. Like I understand that we talk about it and we go through it, but it basically everything comes back to natural gas or electricity that's going to hurt them in HVAC. In plumbing, we do the same thing. It's comfort. It's also in plumbing. It also talks a little bit about the safety of flooding, which is a fear of what's going to come. Okay. And electrical is really the only one that you can actually look a customer straight in the face with a damaged electrical panel and tell them, look, this thing is potentially going to actually catch on fire. And truly, and I hate to say sell on fear because that's not the thing anybody wants to say they're selling on. But when you have electrical problems, it's actually the reality. Because
tell people the truth. This is what's going on.
When a plumbing thing fails, you're going to get wet and it's going to suck. And you might lose some flooring, some drywall, but you can probably still live there. When HVAC happens, you're going to still be able to live there. It's going to be cold or hot and uncomfortable. When electrical happens, all too often the home isn't there anymore. And that's the difference. And that people don't like to hear out loud, but that's how we get the tickets we get. And so some people are going to look at this podcast and they say, you're a crook, you're crazy. I'm not willing to sell on fear. I'm not willing to have that conversation. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. You're probably not the right person that's going to grow and scale to a large electrical firm.
So as we close up, I just want to find out a few things about you because different salespeople have different styles. What is your DISC personality profile?
I am a 92 or 96% D.
Okay. Which
I am
makes
decisive
sense for the business owner, right?
Yeah. 100%. Like it's I'm quick to make decisions and I don't have time for people's BS, which doesn't make me the best manager.
But what else is there? Usually it's a blend of, is it mostly just D?
I'm a D.
Wow. Okay.
No, like and I'm like, I think it's 3% or 2.5% of the percentage of people that are like me. It's like the low half of single digits.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'm an extremist. Like I'm building this blue collar freedom group out right now. And even my videographer, podcaster goes, well, you said we were going to dabble in this. And he's like, you've already made me a full-time job. Like it's just already full-time and it's go, go, go. And I have no idea like how to keep up with you. And I'm like, well, that's just how it is. Like, this is how I operate. My wife's like, you don't know how to slow down and you don't know how to, people have a hard time unless you kind of learn. And I had to get integrators if you know EOS, right? Like I said, I spent a lot of money on my education. Like EOS teaches you to have the integrator. And if you haven't read it, you should go read Rocket Fuel. Is one of the best things that ever happened to me. And I read this after, but understanding your strengths, understanding where you're not strong. And so for me, D is my personality on DISC profile. I'm perfectly okay with telling you suck. I'm also perfectly okay with complimenting the hell out of you. And I do a lot of both. Good.
So a lot of strong salespeople have the D in there. And a lot of them I hear are DI. I'm a weird one. I'm a DC. And D and C are just as high as each other. Which is why I do so well with the engineers. Right? I have to work really hard with the artists.
I turn red in the face with engineers.
Oh, yeah. I don't. I just dig in. I'm like, yeah, man, I get it. I want to see all my options. I want to understand all of it. And I love the fact that Tucson has so many engineers because they're my customers.
My time at the high affluent people in the homes that I got to work on taught me how to interact with the eyes. Right. That really taught me how to have, and one of the things I do is I eat out at very nice restaurants. You're like, why would you waste your money on that? Like, why would you spend $100 on a steak or $200 on a steak, right? Like a Wagyu A5 or whatever, like steak. Well, I do it to learn. Like if you ever go to and you should, everybody here should go to a 5-star, $100+ steak where somebody's like, and I'm not talking the kind that are kind of nice, like the Mexican steakhouse near your house. Like they're kind of nice. I'm talking the one that is like in Vegas, or in a nice part of town that is actually white glove experience, like true service. And watch where the people, your server will have 2 tables, maybe 3. They don't have 5. They don't have 8. They have 2 because there's 4 people serving your 2 or 3 tables. And their full-time job is to manage that. And your ticket when you leave for 2 should be over $500. Like if you're truly going to the right kind of place. And what you're going to find in this experience, and this is what's trained me, and like a sales trainer told me to do this a long time ago. He goes, go see what white glove actually is. And go to the best restaurant you can in Seattle. It's Canalus. Is one of the best there. And it's literally the people are standing there, whatever, 15 feet away, just far enough that they're not in your way. And they're standing around a corner watching for a crumb to fall, for a fail to happen somewhere, a glass to not be full, a moment of pause that they can see that you're not having a conversation, and they're going to come in and they're going to save the day. And you notice that nothing ever is without perfection. Their napkins are ironed. Their tabletops are like, as they change a table around you, it's ironed. Yeah. Like in the spot and steamed. That's the level of service you have to get to in your companies, in our home service companies. We got to get to that level.
So as you just go through that, it makes me think of the book Unreasonable Hospitality.
100%.
And how they did that and just tried to over and over again get that Michelin rating. And that's exactly what you're talking about. Go eat at the restaurant, go read the book, and then figure out how to implement it into your business, which is quite difficult in the service space.
It's very difficult.
Right?
That's why it's one of the reasons I want to get to where we can have the production team so white glove that the production team, we just got the contract and we just said yes. Cool. Here's my production team at the front door.
Yeah.
Like that fast.
Yeah.
Like think about when, and this is what I take that analogy back to, is the server that sees my glass of wine or whatever I'm drinking, water, sparkling water, whatever. I drink a lot of sparkling water, is literally 3/4 of the way down, and they'll never let it hit the bottom.
Yeah.
They'll never let that happen. Where if I can tell a customer, hey, Andrew, we're going to get this taken care of today for you. Okay, well, do you know how soon your crew will be here? Yeah, no, they're already here. I sent a text about 5 minutes ago once I realized how urgent this was. They're actually sitting out at the curb. All you have to do is give me which one of these we're doing.
Yep. That's beautiful.
Like, I mean, that's a whole nother level. Like when we can get to that.
Absolutely.
And we're working on it. I'll let you know when I have it mastered.
I'm definitely not
there. I'm not there either yet, but I'm going to get there. Like that's my new mission in 26.
So what in that realm of unreasonable hospitality, what have you been able to accomplish that others don't? Obviously, you know where you're going, but where have you gotten already?
Our magazines and what that sets apart. And every time I go and like show those, I don't have any here. I'm sorry. But I can get you some. I'll get you a copy of them.
Please.
Our magazines completely set us apart. They're not just, they're not fluff. They're real. And our electrical magazine is a electrical sales packet. Like it is actually a value to the customer. We're drawing out their electrical panel. We're drawing out their circuit drawings. We're putting it together in a safety format. It's a big centerfold. And then you flip the pages and here's your options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. And it's all ready and it's presented and it's no money in it. Like it doesn't have dollars. Now we pull up Service Titan and here's your dollars. Here's your payments.
That's great.
And that's something that completely sets us apart because we come in with that. I mean, everybody these days has, I don't want to put down or devalue the importance of a brand. Like you got to have a brand. You got to build it and you got to have it. But everybody's got a Sasquatch, a dog, a whale, a puppet on the side of their van. Yep. And it's not that that's a bad thing. It's good. And there's some phenomenal designers out there. But right now there's a couple of them that have really I want to say pigeonholed the market. And they do great work. And I'm not putting their work down in any way. But everybody's got it. So what makes you different?
Yep.
Oh, you have a dog instead of a whale?
Yep.
I'm sorry. Your wraps don't make you different anymore. You have to come up with something new. You have to find out what's next, right? Like everybody, and I don't want to say everybody because there's a lot of people that can listen to this that don't have a wrap. Yeah. Go get your van wrap. That's the first step. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Go get that. Go have a good website. If you don't have that, yes, go get those things. Those are your first steps in building value. Before we even launched our company in Spokane, the brand was done. The mission was done. Like all of those things were done. We're not driving around in white trucks. It's not going to happen. I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
right? Like now that I know the value of it, and the guy that builds my brands is not known in the industry. It was a really cool story. I don't want to go into it today, but like phenomenal. If you ever want, somebody who does brands, he's not as well known in the
And we're
industry.
talking about deer.
Yeah, deer,
Yeah.
high energy, all of those. Yeah.
Do you have a deer on the
Yeah.
on the van? Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's an image. Some people tell me it looks like the Browning deer. I think the Browning deer it's a side image with the antlers. Ours is deer is David, Eli, Alexander, Rhonda. So it's not DEER.
Oh, interesting.
It's my wife, my two sons, and
Oh,
my
cool.
name.
Okay.
It's named for that. It's an acronym. It's why it's all capital letters.
Yep.
And then there's 4 antlers on it for the names.
Nice.
And then the face is actually a D in the logo. So the logo has value and meaning to me.
Yeah.
On that company.
That's cool.
And so that company has a lot of sentimental to me.
Yep.
High energy is the same kind of thing where like high energy is, as you guys can know, I'm a D.
Yep.
I don't run out of energy. And when I do run out of energy, I am the Energizer Bunny. Like I'm out. I'm dead. I don't just like I hit the wall and then my wife literally says, you got to go recharge. Like I go out to the car and I just recharge 15 minutes and I come back a whole new man ready to go.
That's awesome. Okay. Top 3 sales books, top 3 business books.
I think anything to do with EOS. So there's Traction, there's Rocket Fuel, and I'm drawing a blank on the other one for business books. I would highly recommend anybody in their mid-sized businesses or small business that's a great launching pad.
Good.
So anything EOS, sales books. Man, there's some good ones. One of them I don't think it's even a sales book. It's Grant Cardone's $1 Million Mindset, I think is what it is, or million. I don't remember the name of it. I'm not the best at naming books. This is my wife gives me a lot of crap for this because like movies, we watch movies and different things, and I can't remember. Like it's just not me. Yeah. I've probably read it. I probably can remember parts of it, but I don't remember the names. That's another good one.
It's all right.
No, it's okay. I like it. I like Tommy Mello. What's his book he recently put out? That was a really good Elevate.
Business.
Yeah, business.
Yeah,
that was a
book.
really good business book that he put out a lot of good information in that. It's another one I read recently. I've been actually pretty focused on the EOS like model, and so that's kind of been my books as of late.
Cool.
So I'll probably stick to those.
And do you have a coach along with that? You have an EOS coach?
I don't actually. I haven't implemented a coach. I have kind of an offline coach for it, who was a EOS coach, and she grew her company that she was working for at the time. Recently left. She does our AI coaching and AI management. She helped me kind of get into this.
Okay.
Christina Crane is phenomenal for AI. It's the Canyon Groups is what she manages and how we're implementing AI into all these businesses and the management side of it. It's been pretty fun to like learn how that happens.
Yeah.
And how unsecure we are, and most of us. Like I was like, well, yeah, my guys, I think we use ChatGPT and stuff, and that I could go on a whole rant about how like we're all giving our information to the beast right now.
Right.
And I'm going to call like AI the beast.
Sure.
And we're just giving it for everybody. Like, so my information is now public for you to use. If I've been putting my stuff in AI without the right account, without the right safety protocols behind it. And I think that's common, way more common than we think.
Yep.
And our employees are using it more than we know. When they do a poll, 80% of employees are using AI inside of your business without you knowing it. They're using personal accounts.
Yeah. So one of the big takeaways after meeting you at Freedom, and I know we met at Pantheon as well, but broccoli.
Yeah.
So we are just implementing broccoli. We were getting off of a couple others I won't mention and shifting over. What else do you love in the AI world that you're using?
Man. Well, Service Titan gives you a lot.
Yep.
We use a lot of AI integrations with Slack and Service Titan that we built through either ChatGPT or Grok or you name it. Like there's a lot of different things. And I think that we've scratched the surface.
Yeah.
And sometimes I talk to people and I realize that we're like miles ahead of other people. And I'm like, we didn't even scratch the surface because I was going over some of the things that we can do. I just watched yesterday how you take an email list of like an Excel list. She was showing me how you take I think she had 19 people on this list. She goes, you can do it with 500 people. And you say, I want you to search on LinkedIn and websites what these, because she's communicating to CEOs. And she did it on this shared screen. And she goes, look, I want to write a personal email to all of them that touches on their business individually. And it literally went online and took 19 different emails it wrote in about 10 minutes. That is off their LinkedIn pages, off their social media if you have access to Facebook and those kind of things. But a lot of those have firewalls that are a little harder for the AI to get into. But it's using their actual personal information and creating sales formatted emails on somebody's real things. That it blew my mind because I'm like, no way. You mean I can actually send every customer in my database a truly customized email? Now, obviously, be careful with it. Don't get too crazy with it and let it just go to 5,000 people because you might have a lot of pissed off people that are looking up how many dogs they have in their house or something. But it can actually go through your Service Titan notes. Think about this. Like if you're now you send the AI agent through your Service Titan data and say, I want you to find something that happened inside their home that was notable, put it into the email, and then re-email them out their estimates and or a follow-up or a service maintenance visit. And you want to then put this in a email format that's individualized.
And you're doing this with an AI agent you created, not some other person's that you bought. Interesting. Very cool.
That's like
mind-blowing.
It really is for me because I'm a simple electrician that learned how to sell something.
Yep.
I like my iPhone, but that's about as technical as I get.
That's cool.
So,
well, I think that's about it.
This was so much fun.
It was great.
Andrew, thank you for having me on here. Thank you to your audience for listening to all of us and the rambles that we went on with. I've just really had a blast. So thank you
thanks for coming down. Really appreciate you.
Cool.
And welcome to the Arizona market.
I love it.
Look forward to spending a little more time with you here.
Yeah, great. I'd love to get it going and have you up at my shop.
If someone's looking for you, how do they find you?
You can find me on social media, David Hurst. I'm at the David Hurst, _David_Hurst on Instagram. You can find me at the Blue Collar Freedom on Instagram. You can find me at Blue Collar. And honestly, this is a great spot to find us and really follow us. Is go to the Facebook page, Blue Collar Freedom, and ask to join. We'll get you in there. It's a free group. We love having people join and just bring value and bring a positive attitude.
Sweet. Thanks again, David.
Cheers. Thank you.